to telework today.
All right, I'll do whatever you want. Just don't hit
Just
me.
fucking do it, god damn it. It's glitching. I swear it's doing it based on my voice. Like nothing else is going on.
The monitor is responding to your voice.
Apparently.
All right,
you,
people.
bag.
This is the sound check portion. If anybody's out there, let us know how we sound, especially Dave's levels.
Yes.
We're trying to fix some issues with Dave's volume.
Apparently, I'm having issues controlling the volume of my voice.
I knew that was coming.
You have to do that.
Who are these people?
You did indeed get a growler. Look at you.
I did. Doo-doo-doo.
Nice. Dun. Oi!
Oi.
Prick! Oi, Heineken. I don't like you. It's a great skit. Probably one of my favorite Jim Breuer skits ever.
Is that from SNL?
No, it's from one of his stand-ups. He's doing he's talking about how all the alcohol like is in your stomach. Like if you like at a party and you're like mixing drinks, like you start with beer and then you like throw like different shots of whiskey and shit like that in there.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, one of the lines is you take a shot of scotch or whiskey or something and drink a Heineken after that. It's like, "Oi, Heineken, I don't like you." All right, we got several in the chat already.
All right.
Despite our earlier times of going.
Let us know how we sound before we get going.
Start time. That's what that's called.
Yes.
Fuck my brain. It is not.
Is this a sign of things to come for the night?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be bad.
Oh well, what can you do?
The penguins, like global warming is like happening up here.
The iceberg's getting smaller.
Yeah, the iceberg's getting smaller. The penguins are fucking flapping as much as they can to try and swim to the surface. It's not good. It's not good at all.
All right, thank you, Chantal. Appreciate it.
I think we got a click from Bronco Fett, so that's good.
Yep, always a good sign. Oh, I got a click for Bronco Fett. I got a couple.
Do you?
Hopefully I have 4 field goals for him, too, tonight.
Oh, yeah? Do you?
Yeah, hopefully.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Laces out.
The laces were in! They were in!
Laces out.
It's all right.
An interesting evening.
Yeah. Though all of that's going to transpire after we
It will.
end the show.
It will, but I'm sending all kinds of positive vibes to well, let's see. Who you have Tampa Bay's kicker, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And they're playing who tonight?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you.
The Giants.
Yeah.
So we need the Giants to just go bananas tonight.
Yeah, their defense needs to play well and just hold Tampa Bay to a bunch of field goals.
Right.
And then we're good.
Right.
Or just play like the Giants, get 15 touchdowns scored against you, like you normally do, and then
have all the extra points.
Yeah. So either way, I think I'm going to be all right.
I like this false confidence that you have, because I know you were looking at it all day going like, "Fuck! It's down to my goddamn kicker." Because Nick and I were looking at it today going like, "Ha ha ha."
You should have been watching it yesterday. Oh. It was like slingshotting back and forth between who was like favored by a lot, and then all of a sudden you just.
If only Dak Prescott. Like, look, nobody is happier than me when the Cowboys lose. I mean, Dak Prescott, like, not having a good game, the Cowboys losing, like, talking to a Cowboys fan today and being able to, like, kind of, like, rub it in his face a little bit. It's like, "Oh, did you watch that whole game?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah." It's like, "Oh, did you suffer a little bit?" He's like, "Oh, yeah." And I'm like, that makes me feel good. That, it does. It makes me feel good. But if Prescott had done just a little bit, it wouldn't even be close right now. That kicker would have to throw touchdown passes to fucking make this close. But sadly, it comes down to this, and yeah, we're all pulling for you, Bronco Fett. You've got a lot of fans.
He's probably gonna have a lot more after I talk some fantasy football today.
Oh, I know it. I read the notes. It's gonna be great. I can't. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
Einhorn is a man. Oh God.
The crying game. Fucking in the shower.
Your gun is digging into my hip.
You're a strange guy, Ace.
Oh man, what a movie! It's still the sound check portion, Kelly. Chill.
It's close enough to 5 o'clock. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're within 15 minutes of our takeoff time,
Yeah.
right?
That's allowed.
It's 2:54. I don't. That's not a real time. It's not 2:54 a.m. Maybe in Karachi, it's 2:54 a.m.
Where the fuck is Karachi? No, I'm serious.
It's on the other side of the world, Jason.
Well, I realize that, but
Karachi in Pakistan. Pretty sure it's in Pakistan.
oh, so you don't even know. You just gave me that condescending, like, oh, you don't know, like the guy with the monocle, like from the meme.
Yeah,
like,
it's in it's in Pakistan.
Uh,
Well, no, because I'm like, it's in Pakistan, dummy. And in my brain, I'm like, are you sure? Before you say something on air, like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. Yeah. It's fucking.
You all right there?
Yeah, I forgot why I looked at my watch. Wow. Damn it, Jason.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
Jason, it gets that bad, man. It's been bad lately. I can't. It's a tough thing to describe sometimes. Civilians is an AM PM thing. I don't. AM and PM. That's like whatever. I'm gonna get in my boat and throw rope out the back to gauge how fast I'm going. What are we doing?
What'd you do with the gifts from?
They're behind
John?
me.
Behind you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was taking up the entire fucking table, dude. We can't leave them.
I just
there.
had to put them somewhere. Well, like I was carrying them in, and I don't know where the hell we're gonna put those. By the way.
Bend over and I'll show you. You got all that wall space right there.
Well, but you won't be able to see them on the.
Look, dude, there's only but so much fucking viewable area. I mean,
Right, and 90% of it is taken up by the Sacred Jedi Pops.
Facts. And honestly, 100% of it could be taken up by the Sacred Jedi Pops if it was spread out proper.
Yeah, so we got to fix that.
Yeah, we look. We have a what do you call it? The abundance of riches when it comes to things that we could display.
That is true. Like I've had to put shit back into the garage
Yeah,
because there's just like too much in here and there's not enough space.
right.
So.
So we do not want for displayable items, and we are thankful for that.
Yeah.
So, all right, it is 16:57.
Are you saying we're ready to go live?
I am ready. Let's do this.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Hold on. Should I pee first? Nah, I'll wait.
You should wait. All right, I'm gonna hit the thing. We never did put a 30-second timer on our intro video, but whatever. It's your toast, right?
Yep.
Okay. And de toi.
To the people of Waukesha, Wisconsin. Awful, awful situation up there. I caught wind of it right before I went to bed last night. And at the time, not a whole lot was known. I don't think many of the videos had surfaced, but by this morning, yeah, it was pretty obvious what had happened, and fuck. Awful thing going on out there. So
I'll be honest with you, I'm not tracking at all.
It's probably for the best. I mean, long story short, last night, some asshole in an SUV plowed through a Christmas parade on purpose, killing at least 5 people. There's like 18 children in critical condition right now. Fucking horrible. And I saw the video one time and I'm like, oh God. Kind of wish I hadn't watched it, honestly.
Yeah. I can't watch the news.
Yeah.
Just
shitty situation going on up there, and in addition to all of the other stuff that's been going on up there lately. So fuck, I feel for those people, and during a fucking Christmas parade too, of all things, bunch of kids out, and just it's just a shitty situation, and my thoughts are with everybody up there. So hooray!
Good job, Jason.
I know. Way to start on a real downer of a.
Christ. Anyway,
hello everyone, and welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture,
depressing
very
apparently.
depressing news, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking
hell,
about.
Jason.
I'm Mr. Jason Roskam. With me here each and every single week, the what are you this week? The support dog to my depressed individual, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jason.
How are you?
In honor of this week's topic for Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you could say the Cameron to my Ferris Bueller. That would have been appropriate.
Would you be you would be the Cameron, wouldn't you?
I would be the Cameron.
Yeah. I'm not nearly as charismatic as Ferris, though, so.
Not facts, but
yeah,
I can't have everything.
right.
As we'll find out later, I am very much the Cameron in a lot of ways for even when I was a kid. So
oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that.
So you have kind of alluded to it, but what are we talking about this week?
We're going to talk about the 35th anniversary of Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Hell yeah.
I've been wanting to talk about this like all year, by the way.
Yeah.
It's been one of those things of like, yeah, let's do Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Like, oh, well, this is going on, that's going on. So finally,
yeah,
we're gonna get to before the end of the year.
Yes. While it's still the 35th anniversary.
Right. We're gonna talk about it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. And in the meantime, we have some Red 5 business to get to.
We do. You may have heard us talk about it a little bit. Probably look, we haven't talked about it enough, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna read it. Fuck it. So nerds, I'm gonna read what Luna Girl fucking wrote for me to read because it's gonna be better than anything I was gonna come up with off the cuff. Nerd Geeks and Dorks Unite! The first annual Parsec Fan Awards is this Saturday. We are taping on November 22nd.
Yes. And it's the 27th is the
the
Parsec
Parsec
Awards.
Yes. So,
20 seconds. Starting now.
oh, wait. What's going to happen in 20 seconds?
Oh, God.
Fucking Irish ass. Shut up. So this Saturday, November 27th. Oh, it's actually right there. It says November 27th. If I had read further, I would have said November 27th.
I just used my brain and added 5
Oh, there you
days
go. Oh, thank God. The timer just went off in 20 seconds. So the first annual Parsec Fan Awards
Yes.
from the Red 5 Network is going to be this Saturday, November 27th. Tune in to the live show on the Red 5 Network on YouTube to see the winners you voted for in your favorite sci-fi and fantasy categories.
Presented by
us.
Yeah. All the shows of the Red 5
Yes,
Network.
all the shows of the Red 5 Network. And Jason and I and Lunar Girl. And all of us. And you made me lose my place. Fuck you. God damn it. All of your Red 5 podcasters will be in the chat and representing the awards. Oh shit, we're gonna be in the we have to be in the chat Saturday night.
That's fine.
I forgot. Empire stuff.
Lots of Empire stuff.
Anyway, so all of your favorite Red 5 podcasters. Oh, that's why, because I'm not one of the favorite Red 5 podcasters. That's why I wasn't including myself in that.
Sure.
Shenanigans are 100% guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So, talking about Red 5, the annual Parsec Awards, everyone's been doing little bits for doing the awards presentations. We did our spot we are presenting. Are we allowed to talk about what award we're presenting?
I don't see why not, as long as we don't say the winner. But we're doing like best fight scenes.
Best fight.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that this Saturday night, and you will do it. Lunar Girl has been sharing daily live stream Lunar Girl has been sharing daily live stream schedules on all the socials for nightly Red 5 live chats to hang in. I'm having a tough time tonight, guys. I really am. There are 33 amazing podcasts, including ours, in the Red 5 network, and literally something for every personality. For the complete list, visit bio.link/red5, the number 5. So that's bio.link/RED, the number 5. Coming up tonight, WSTR Media has an Imperial inspection of Finn at 2200. So I wonder how, our Imperial inspection, are we talking undercarriage? What kind of inspection are we talking about here?
That's a good question.
Anyway, anyway. Salty Nerds, A Case of the Mondays, talks to Aaron the Nerd Soup Monkey, an hour early at 2200. And Starlight Digest goes Beyond the Pit with Ghostbusters Afterlife at 2300, which I'm hearing good stuff about.
Yeah, I want to see that while it's still in theaters, but, lives kind of get in the way.
Yeah, fuck, I still want to see Dune in theaters, and I haven't had a chance to do that. Yeah. So, anyway, Red 5, catch us on the Parsec Awards this Saturday night. I don't know when the live stream's actually going to start, but look for more stuff on our socials at the Sidebar Cantina on Instagram and most things, and you will do it.
All right. 5-star reviews. We got a couple more to read.
Fucking
this
ain't
week.
right.
So, just as a reminder, please, if you like our show, or you like us, or, hey, even if you don't like us, go to iTunes or wherever you write reviews for podcasts, give us a 5-star review, and then say something. Doesn't matter what you say.
Something.
Because no matter what you say, we will read it verbatim here on the show.
Do it for Lunar Girl.
Yes. And if you do give us 5 stars, and at least don't completely trash us, she'll send you a sticker, and Dave will suck your dick. So let's get to some of these 5-star reviews, shall we?
Yes. Apparently, you specifically have to read this one,
right?
And it's a multi-parter.
Yeah, which I'm kind of. It's a little weird the way it's formatted, but whatever. So it's titled "Happy Veterans Day" from Mark Somerville, longtime friend of the show.
Shotgun Mark. So he says, "I tried to submit this for weeks for last week's show, but it didn't take. The third incarnation of the greatest podcast in the galaxy, the Sidebar Cantina, is another home run. From the first, hello, everyone, to the last, now what do I click? You'll be thoroughly entertained as you go through the journey of their weeks, all things Star Wars, pop culture, or whatever the duck they want to talk about." Duck.
Must not have fixed his autocorrect.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been with Dave and Mr. Roskam from almost the beginning, and I am with them each and every week. Unfortunately, not live as much as I'd like. Great show. And then, I guess this is the second part of that. It says, "Happy Veterans Day to Dave and Jason and to all who served, and as a special treat to celebrate the birth of the finest fighting force in the world has ever seen, Dave is going to lead us in a rousing rendition of the Marines hymn. Happy 246 years of fighting, killing, hate, and discontent Marines. Dave, take it away." And then this is from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. We fight our country's battles in the air, on land, and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine. You were supposed to sing that, though.
Right.
So do you want to do that, or
no? You already read it.
Okay.
So it kind of defeats the purpose. And I was just going to break into "Off We Go into the Wild Blue Yonder."
Nice. So
thank you, Shotgun Mark, and I hope you enjoy the stickers.
Indeed.
Is that it?
That is it.
5-star reviews.
Yep.
Excellent.
So again, give us a 5-star review wherever you can. Send us a screenshot. Send us the screenshot so we know. Lunar Girl will send you some goodies, and we will sing your praises here on the show, but we will not sing the Marine song. I will read it, though. I read it verbatim, as we promised that we would do.
Yes. You didn't follow instructions, but you read it verbatim.
I'm really not good at following instructions.
Facts. So we're doing this or that, right?
Yep,
we're
that's
gonna
next.
do it this week. We're gonna do it in the
We
appropriate
did it
order.
last week.
We did. We almost forgot though, because we were doing it out of sequence. That would have made sense in the order of what our topic was last week. However, comma.
And then by the time we
Maybe
got to the
forgot.
main topic, I was already like full of alcohol, and it was just
Yeah, sure.
things just got out of hand very quickly. So we do a segment every week on the show called This or That, where our social media director, Luna Girl, puts up a poll on our Instagram. And what is our Instagram, Dave?
At the Sidebar Cantina.
And she gives you two options. You pick one option, and we go over the results here in the show. And as always, it always relates to our main topic. And this week is old movies, and specifically movies that turned 35, which I didn't realize some of these movies all were having 35th anniversaries this year because we missed some really fucking good ones. One of them is in this first fucking poll, and it is not Big Trouble in Little China, but the other option is Howard the Duck. So Howard the Duck versus Big Trouble in Little China. And the question, too, specifically she asked was, which one of these have you watched 1,000 times? For me, Howard the Duck, by far.
Really?
Watched that movie hundreds of times as a kid. Not even exaggerating.
So I just solely based on what I had access to, it was Big Trouble in Little China. Just because I didn't have access to a copy of Howard the Duck.
Yep.
I remember seeing it several times, but not as many times as Big Trouble in Little China.
So I know we've mentioned this a few times, but I just want to reiterate. Growing up, first of all, what you guys you pirated your cable, right? Like, it's been long enough to where, we can...
How dare you make such an assumption?
You said it on the show.
How dare you, sir? I say good day.
So you had access to quite an array of pay cable channels, right?
Yes.
Whereas my family, we were.
So there was a period in time when back in the day when you had the fucking box that had the wood grain around it that still had the cable attached to it, where you could go, however many across it was, and you push the button, and that was your cable channel selector, and then it had like 3 toggles.
Yep.
So you had 3 rows, right? That box that it connected to was a lot easier to connect up to. As long as you had access to the pole, you could get cable.
Right.
That was before they had all this extra encryption and all this other bullshit. When they hit that next level, it was a little harder to do. Just saying.
Right. So my family didn't have the know-how to do that. And we were pretty poor at this stage in the game. And we had like the cheapo version of cable, which the only pay channel we had was the movie channel, which in hindsight, now that I've kind of looked back and I've seen all of the movies that I used to watch because we would record them off of the movie channel onto our Betamax tape player, Howard the Duck being one of those movies, it was always movies that were like box office failures, right? Movies that came out in theaters and they didn't do well for whatever reason. Or they were like these cult classic movies, but didn't really like have a big financial following. They hit the movie channel while all the good shit, the Big Trouble in Little China and stuff like that, hit like
on
HBO.
HBO.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So I am more familiar with the movies that didn't do so well.
Yeah.
Because we had the movie channel growing up. So Howard the Duck was one of those. We fucking recorded on the Betamax, and it was a George Lucas joint, and I literally saw that movie a couple hundred times as a kid.
No shit.
Yeah. Like,
that's really funny.
Not even bullshitting.
That's really funny. Yeah, no, because it was on HBO all the time, Big Trouble in Little China was...
Right. So, and I can understand that. And Big Trouble won 52% to 48%, so still pretty close.
Well, I mean, look, this is our audience, right? We're a Star Wars audience, right? So we're going to gravitate towards a George Lucas joint. Mm-hmm. We know the connection between Howard the Duck and Lucas and everything else.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
And to be honest, like Howard the Duck, as I sit here as an adult, I can appreciate Howard the Duck a lot more.
Yeah.
Than I probably could have when I was a kid. Like if you offer me both things, I probably would gravitate towards Howard the Duck now.
And again, like I didn't realize this year was its anniversary. Like I'm so pissed off.
We talked about it actually.
Did we?
It was on the list.
God, but we never did an episode about it.
We didn't.
Fuck.
Dude, there were so many fucking videos this year.
Yeah.
There's so many videos. There were so many movies this year.
Yeah.
That there literally, unless we just did straight movies for the entire year, content, baby. We got to do this thing.
86 was a big year.
Yeah,
so And the next one we had was more along the lines of scary movies, Aliens versus The Fly. And this is the Jeff Goldblum Fly. So, I mean, Aliens was a fucking classic movie.
Yep.
Incredible. Great sequel. Some people would say it's better than the first Alien.
Yeah.
So...
I'd be one of those people.
Yeah. Now, not to take anything away from The Fly, because The Fly at the time was pretty damn good, too.
I don't think I've ever seen The Fly.
Really? You've never seen the Jeff Goldblum Fly?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, man. It's an experience.
I'll bet.
It is an experience. Like watching his whole transformation and all the shit that's happening to his skin and everything.
That sounds great.
Oh, and the fucking inside-out baboon and all that.
Yeah. It sounds even better.
Yeah.
We should definitely we should stop taping and watch that right now.
No. And most of the people agreed. Aliens, 86% to 14% The Fly.
Fair enough.
Fucking Transformers the movie. You got the touch. You got the power. Yeah! So, Transformers the movie versus An American Tail.
Right.
An American Tail was fun for the time for one viewing, but I mean, come on. For kids our age in the fucking 80s, Transformers the movie was like fucking mecca, right? Like, especially for people our age, because we grew up with fucking Transformers those first 2 seasons, and then the movie fucking came out, and it's like, oh. Mm-hmm. And now, granted, they fucked a lot of shit up with the movie, but either way.
So, I picked American Tail.
Did you?
So, it's about access, right?
Okay.
I saw American Tail way more times than I saw Transformers.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, whether it was because we had it on video, which we probably did. Mm-hmm. Actually, that's probably the reason, is because we had it on video. And it was something that later on, as my sisters were like younger and we could put it in, and it was like, had that same Disney quality to it.
Sure.
We could watch over and over again, but like Fievel and like that whole thing. Yeah. American Tail. I sorry.
Yeah.
I know it seems contrary to everything that you would want to be in this nerdiverse, but
yeah. And again, I'm not taking anything away from American Tail. It was good, like I said, for one viewing. There was like one catchy song from that. I can't even remember what it was at this point.
Somewhere out there. Chantal just posted it.
Yeah. I thought there was a more upbeat song too that I always remembered from that movie, but whatever. I don't give a shit. Transformers won 65% to 35%. That's all that matters. Next, so this is an interesting one. Highlander versus Crocodile Dundee. I have never seen Highlander. Any of the Highlander movies.
Really?
Yeah.
None of them?
None of them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I picked Crocodile Dundee just because I've seen it a lot more.
Yeah.
I know I was never into the Highlander movies. I just thought it was a little ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I just remember the Highlander TV show always came on right before Monday Night Raw in the 90s. So I'd always have to see the fucking end credits as I'm getting ready to watch wrestling every Monday night of the fucking Highlander TV show.
It's really funny. The Crocodile Dundee, again, we had it on VHS. It was a copy. I remember it was handwritten, on the thing. Mm-hmm. And, iconic lines. This is how we as fucking white suburban fucking kids learned about Australia.
Right. That's what all Australians are like. Right. They're like this guy.
Yeah.
Whereas we've been to Australia and we've seen it's very westernized and it's not. There's areas like that.
Yeah,
but
there's plenty of that. But the best part is like when you're like my Australian friends that I've made that I work with. Mm-hmm. They embrace the stereotype, which is really, really funny.
Yeah. But yeah, Crocodile Dundee won 67% to 33%. Oh man, I love this last one too. Short Circuit versus Flight of the Navigator. First of all, I loved both of these movies.
Okay.
Now, Flight of the Navigator has not held up as much for me, but to this day, I still fucking adore Short Circuit.
Short Circuit
love that movie.
One of the all-time great movies.
Yeah.
It is Steve Guttenberg at his it is the perfect movie.
Yeah, it's great.
It is a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like almost all of the effects hold up. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of practical effects with the robot.
It's
right?
all practical effects. I think there might be some stop motion.
There's some like stop motion with the lasers and shit like that. But
yeah.
for the most part, all that shit holds up, and it's just fucking. It's just so good.
Yeah.
The banter, like, I still to this day use Johnny Five and needing input and everything else. I mean, it became part of my fucking vernacular. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I've seen Flight of Navigator all the way through.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I have.
Yeah, I remember watching it several times as a kid. The whole Paul Rubens thing, I think, got old very quickly. Yeah, so it was a neat concept. The kid getting like taken by the spaceship, and they actually used some like real science because he fucking they took him
science.
They took him like to fucking light speed to somewhere outside the galaxy, and then they brought him back, and he was like everybody was fucking older, and
so it was time dilation.
Yeah. So they actually used some of that in this.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, Short Circuit by far I would pick.
Oh, great movie.
And Short Circuit won 71% to 29%. So that was this or that. Now we have one more thing, the Twitter poll, which I don't understand this fucking thing at all. She also puts up a poll on our Twitter, what is our Twitter, Dave?
Sidebar Cantina.
Yes, at Sidebar Cantina. And she basically just gave you options for favorite movie that had a 35th anniversary. And Highlander won by 58%, followed by Short Circuit, Flight of the Navigator, and Howard the Duck. How did Highlander not even win its individual poll and then win this fucking Twitter poll? Because this is why Twitter is garbage.
Twitter is... Fuck Twitter.
Yeah.
Fuck Twitter. I'm sorry. I know the Red 5 network thrives in a Twitterverse, but you know what? I do not. I went on Twitter the other day. What did I go on there for? I think Kelly was doing something on Twitter, and I wanted to go on to like support something she was doing. And I got on Twitter, and I was legitimately on there for 5 minutes, and I was like, I was angry to the point where my ears were red. I did like just reading something on Twitter to the things that I've followed in the past, like, and I think it was, I don't know what it was, like sports related or something, but I'm like scrolling through trying to get to the thing I wanted to get to. I'm like, this is all these people are fucking idiots. Just no. All right, fucking close. Nope. Fucking stay off of Twitter.
Yeah, I mean,
Dave.
Yeah, a big part of the problem is like everything is about politics now.
Yeah, I can't.
Sports, entertainment, it's all about politics now.
I can't with Twitter. I just can't. Sorry.
So anyway,
but I'm glad that you know the Red 5 network does do a lot of stuff on Twitter, and I'm glad that there's a lot of engagement there, and hopefully there's a lot of you know, people that are going to watch the Parsec Awards that are on Twitter. And that's how they are going to get to the Parsec Awards that are on Saturday, November 27th.
That's right. Plug number 2.
There you go.
With more to come.
That's what she said?
Yes.
Anyway.
So, are we ready to move on to our weeks?
I love how Ludagirl is defending Twitter.
There is no defense. There's no defense.
Twitter's not garbage. We have a lot of great followers on there. And I am sure that we do.
I'm sure the people who follow us on there are lovely people.
Yes, I'm sure they're fantastic
but
people.
as a platform, Twitter is cancer.
I just cannot. I can't do it.
All right.
Anyway.
So, to reiterate my question, are we ready to get into our weeks?
Well, we got to do this first. Is this part of the weeks?
Yes.
Okay, then yes.
Okay, great. So, first we have a joint week thing to talk about, and that is our good friend the John bequeathed some gifts to us this week.
Did you want to open these out of the plastic?
Let's not do that.
Okay.
We'll keep them in the plastic until we're ready to actually display them.
Okay.
But our good friend the John has a whole bunch of these really neat Star Wars paintings, almost like, and it's going to be hard to see on video. I'm sorry, but They are these really neat paintings. They're almost like successory type things. You can't even like really see them, but they're different landscapes from the Star Wars universe. I'm holding Coruscant. It's like a silhouette of the landscape of Coruscant. Dave has the Death Star trench. And
yeah,
then,
it's the trench run. It's got TIE fighters. It's got X-Wings.
Yep, but the best one, which you should be able to at least see this a little bit on the YouTube, is Endor. And it's got the dish and the Death Star 2 up there in the sky. Really, really cool stuff. They look so much better without the plastic on. I guess he had these on display in his apartment in Florida when he lived down there.
He did.
And then he got married, and his wife said no.
Yeah.
So now they are here in the studio.
So these were relegated to the studio. But
yeah.
So the other thing that's cool about these is it has their little sayings. Like for Endor, it's lush, lively, lunar. So it's like playing on these like Pier 1 type fucking art things.
Yeah.
That,
like the accessories and things like that. So, but yeah, thank you so much, John. Those are going to go on display in here. I want to get it. I at least want to put the indoor one somewhere where you can see it on the YouTube, because it's a really, really good piece of art.
No, I agree.
So
yeah, we need to spend some quality time in here and rearrange some stuff.
We've been saying that for 2 fucking years.
2?
Or longer. Anyway, so getting into my week, I don't remember if I actually talked about this at all, but I finally bought a game for my Switch this week.
You did not?
Yeah, so I bought Pokemon Brilliant Diamond.
Okay.
So I know I've talked a little bit about when I used to work at GameStop, or it used to be Software, etc. Back in the late 90s. I worked there in 98, 99 when the initial Pokemon craze hit. 99. And I hated Pokemon because of that. Like, I was a big gamer at the time, but because this Pokemon phenomenon was just starting to blow up, and all these little shithead kids would drag their fucking parents into Software, etc., they buy me the Pokemon, and the parents would be like, do you have the Pokemon? Do you have the cards? Do you have the toys? Do you have the game? Like, no, sorry. Like, why don't you have this? You know, and it was like dealing with these fucking pieces of shit on a daily basis made me hate this game. I'd never played it.
Right.
And it was, you know, it was very geared towards kids, obviously, with the cartoon and the fucking the cartoony characters. So I'm like, fuck Pokemon. Never wanted to touch it. Never wanted to play it. Finally, like 6 years later, my sister-in-law convinces me to try one of the games on the DS. It was the original Pokemon Diamond, and I'm like, fine, whatever. And I played it, and after getting into it, I actually really enjoyed it, because
figure.
Behind the whole kiddie exterior, there's a pretty solid role-playing game underneath, and I was always into like the turn-based role-playing games. Reminded me so much of the original Dragon Warrior when it comes to like combat and you know, role-playing games and progression and all that. So I really got into it, but that was the only one that I ever really got that much into. But that original Pokemon Diamond from like 2005, 2006, whenever the hell it was, I put like 200 hours into that fucking thing. I tried a couple of them that came out after that. Never really had that level of interest that I did in that original one. But on the Nintendo Switch, they remade those games, and they did very accurate, like 3D current graphic remakes of those games. And of course, I had to buy Diamond, so I've been playing that for a few days. Haven't had too much chance to play it, but I put a little bit of time into it, and it's been fun. I've been enjoying it. So,
can you Twitch stream off of the Switch?
I don't know, but I should probably look into it.
Yeah, you should try it.
Yeah,
just so you can see what it looks like. Because
that is a good point. Like drunken Pokemon.
Yeah, there you go.
Twitch streaming. That would be
entertainment. It's remarkable because, you know, Pokemon is based off the card game, right? I mean, or is one beget the other?
So I think the game was the start, but the cartoon was kind of produced in conjunction with it, and then the card game came out within a year of it. So it was all like boom, 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 like all sort of at the same time.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hello. Speaking of the late 90s.
Yeah,
so,
no shit. Whoa.
Some other stuff. I mentioned that I was in Facebook jail last week, which I thought was just another 1 week sentence, as I've been used to serving a lot this year. And my time ran out this last Saturday, I think it was. So I'm like, woo! Back out of Facebook jail. back to posting shit, and I'm able to post stuff to my profile and everything just fine. And then I go to post something into the Cantina private Facebook group, and it's like, you cannot post in groups for another 23 days. I'm like, what the fuck? So
apparently you're on parole.
Yes, I'm on super secret probation right now. So yeah, I can post to my profile, but I cannot comment on or post anything in groups. So that was a full month ban, apparently.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Did Nick post the there was a meme that was really good about the menopause?
He sent that to me today. Yeah,
that's fucking great. Yeah, well, you know what? Don't be such an asshole on fucking Facebook.
I'm sorry.
You won't get put in jail.
I'm sorry. I'm too raw. I'm too raw and too real.
So Nick,
for this fucking
Nick
world.
was at work today trying to figure out what you posted back in January that was like sexually explicit.
Yes. Yeah. So like, because if you look at my rap sheet, it's it shows like my last 4 bannings, and I posted it, and it was like the first banning was for some sort of sexual content.
Right.
The second one was for hate speech.
Right.
Which
I think had something to do with.
Yeah, it was
the Irish.
Yeah, it was when I was saying "fuck the Irish" all the time. Well, apparently that's such a huge deal. And then the last 2 things were like,
damn near gets you stabbed in some places.
Yeah, well, I'm not afraid of the Irish. They're all too drunk to fucking do anything anyway. Pieces of shit with their red hair and their stupid accents.
Yeah, he's trying to get stabbed.
And then the other 2 were just like community guidelines kind of things. But I guess after the 4th strike, you can't post in groups for a fucking month. So whatever, I don't give a shit. I'll come back and I'll do it again.
You're gonna start making these fake accounts, and it's just gonna be keep sticking it to the man. Like, oh, let's see, I'll teach you, Facebook.
Yeah, Race and Roskam might be posting in the cantina soon.
Haven't you had to do that before though?
I don't think so. Not on Facebook.
Oh,
I have a few Instagram aliases, but
right.
nothing on Facebook yet.
Right.
Though I guess I could probably easily transmit those Instagrams to Facebook. Either way. So, what was I talking about? So Facebook jail. So anyway, I mentioned last week too, I was considering quitting drinking. I had started kind of floating that idea. After thinking about it for another week, I'm like, okay, no, I have to, I can't just like try to cold turkey cut out alcohol out of my life. That's just, it's not going to happen. Like, let's just be honest. So I now have to think of some sort of a happy medium. You know how I did Sober October last year? Yeah. Like, maybe I need to do, like, 4 sober months next year, something like that. So I'm floating some ideas, but the whole completely cutting out alcohol, it's not in the cards.
Well, I mean, you do you, man.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. What's going to make you feel good.
Indeed. So I had this whole, like, sexist, misogynist rant all planned for today because up to this point, my only 2 losses in our fantasy football league had been to the only 2 women in the league.
Right.
Unfortunately, now it looks like I might lose to Bronco Fett tonight. So I think I'm going to sideline that. I mean, it was a good rant. Like, lots of references to the kitchen and, being with child and no shoes, things like that. But, I feel like the whole purpose of that rant would be kind of lost because, if
with child and no shoes.
You all right? I might have killed Dave.
The way you said with child, I'm just like, with child? It took me a half a second to process that.
But so anyway, I think the whole point of that rant would be lost because I may lose to Bronco Fett. But don't worry.
Oh my God.
The misogyny is still strong with this one. And I'll find another opportunity down the road to discuss how much better men are than women at pretty much everything. So don't worry. We will get to that at some point. But as far as this week goes, yeah, I don't think it would be appropriate to go into that kind of a rant.
With child.
Are you okay?
It's just the way you just said it. It's just like, oh my God, it was fucking hilarious.
All right. God. So can you compose yourself enough to go into your week?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, why don't you give it a try anyway?
So yesterday was my son Jeff's 25th birthday.
Damn.
Yeah. It's kind of fucking craziness.
Yeah.
Honestly. And, he came over, he had a real nice day. But that was like, it hit me more today because we had this meeting and we're talking about like a bunch of these co-pilots, right? These children. And literally a lot of them are younger than my son. You know,
Yeah.
these guys just out of the fucking, the Air Force Academy or whatever, and they're like, 25, 24, 25 years old. It's just like, fucking hell. It just made me feel really old today, and it doesn't help that like it's getting colder, and I feel like I woke up and fell down a flight of stairs, so it just felt like old Dave Day today. So you look forward to that as your kids are as your youngest gets into their 20s, and you're just like that. You're going to look like your picture that you posted on Facebook, your profile picture.
Yeah.
Which legitimately, I looked at him like, man, that looks a lot like Jason.
I have gotten so many comments. So just to kind of pivot to that, we went out the other night with a good friend of mine from work, the guy who just recently commissioned. And I've talked about him a little bit on the show. We went out with him and his wife. And the wife took a picture of me and Kristen, and I guess she has some kind of app on her phone that like will like make you look like an old person. So she like put me through the old filter, long white beard, a little bit more balding white hair, and I look like fucking Santa Claus.
You do,
basically.
But it doesn't look fake at all.
No,
it
did a really good job.
It looks like like Jason's like great grandfather. Like
Right.
It's like so ridiculous, and
Yeah.
it took me a few seconds to go like, wow, that looks a lot like Jason. Like, but that's Kristen. Like, wait a minute.
Oh, so Kristen's mom. Oh my God. I'm going to tell this story about her mom. She called her mom today. It was her mom's birthday today. And she called her.
Happy birthday, Kristen's mom.
Yes. Happy birthday, Trish. And so her mom was talking to her about that picture, and she's like, who is that you were snuggling up against? And she's like, no, that was, or no, it was something like that. They were talking about that picture, and Kristen's mom goes, oh, you look really good as an old person. To Kristen.
Wow.
Where she wasn't put through the old filter at all. And Kristen's like, no, they didn't change my picture. It was just Jason.
Oh my God. Thank God that was her mother that said some shit like that, and not somebody, I don't know, like you.
Right.
It's like fucking like, wow, the filter did something. That's a bold move, Cotton.
So anyway, if you're friends with me on Facebook, or even if like you can't see me posting in the cantina, at least not for another 22 days. Yeah, it's temporarily my profile picture is the old man Santa Roskam.
It's fucking great.
So anyway, sorry to derail you.
Yeah. So yeah, old Dave. Speaking of old, Nick introduced a new fucking time sink into my life. And I don't know if I mentioned it.
You told me because I downloaded it, and somebody's gonna have to explain it to me, because it's a football game,
right,
on the iPhone in the exact style of the old Tecmo Super Bowl games.
Right. It's called Retro Bowl.
Right.
Right. And this is not a paid promotion for fucking Retro Bowl.
If only we had their sponsorship.
Yeah, right. How badass would that be? But it's basically, it's in the style, like you're saying, of the old Tecmo Bowl, except that you're only playing the offense, but you're doing like the full season management, right? So you're in there doing roster moves, and you're managing the front office.
Right. So it's more like a Madden game in a sense where you're running the organization,
right,
but you're not actually running the plays though either.
You are. You can select different plays as your offense gets better. Like as your offense increases, like your offense coordinator kind of sucks early. As you get more offensive stars, you have more access to like audibled into different plays.
Well, but see, the thing is though, you're not actively running the plays yourself. Like you're not controlling the characters. You just call the play and then they run it, right?
No, you're running the offense.
Okay, because
you're throwing the ball, or if it's
see, I was trying to do that and it wasn't letting me, so I couldn't quite figure it out. And I'm like, fuck this. I'll have somebody explain it to me.
No, you totally, like, you're running the offense. The defense, no, it does it all off screen.
Okay.
Like it's all off camera, right?
Okay.
But yeah, for the offense, like if you're going to pass, like it's using like an arcing type thing. It's like, okay, you're going to throw to this guy, and you have to time it just right to not get intercepted or whatever.
Right.
And if it's a running play, then you can actually hit, you can kind of slide up or down. It's almost like the old LED style fucking football, where you can like move up or move down to not get tackled.
Right.
So it's kind of like that where you'll have stiff arms.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually pretty addictive, and you can get through a game in about the time it takes you to take a shit, honestly.
Right.
And then manage your team in between that.
Now, I have a huge bone to pick with this game because obviously they don't have the NFL licenses because it's just generic teams. It's like Los Angeles and New York and whatever. There's no San Francisco. Are you fucking kidding?
Dude, it's all the teams.
No.
Yes, it is.
I call bullshit because I looked and I didn't see San Francisco in there anywhere when I went to pick my team.
I've played San Francisco several times.
Man, fuck you. Yeah, I had to pick like Atlanta or some shit.
Look.
Where? Motherfucker, that wasn't available as a franchise to pick when I started. I swear to God.
So, listen, Jason obviously doesn't know how to operate his phone, but Retro Bowl, it's actually it's a time sink. And quite frankly, as much as I complain about it, it's kind of nice having a few moments to like sink into this because like I'm alluding to on my last note here, this Saturday I had a working Saturday at Lodge, right? And it was a solid 8 hours of fucking work because this time of year is like dues and getting dues notices in and out and fucking processing all this shit, and this is when I make my money. But maybe Jason should use an easier app. Yeah, maybe. And what's really funny is like this, sitting there, and it's Saturday. We had a rental in. This is one of the reasons I spent the day at the building, and I'm taking a minute. I stopped what I was doing. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna play Retro Bowl for a little bit, and then I had a moment where I was like, okay, I better get back to work. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not. What the fuck? Like I'm at the Lodge, right? I'm not being. I'm not like I didn't punch a clock,
Right.
Like I could sit here and fucking jerk off on this goddamn game all day if I wanted to.
Not literally. Hopefully.
Not literally. Like not on my own phone. That'd be weird, especially because the screen's cracked. It would probably like get into it. That would be weird. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those where I truly need to take advantage of those days off when I get them. And when I have a few minutes to fucking play a retro football game, then I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And when Jason has a few minutes to fucking play a game, he can play the Speak and Spell.
Yo, how great would a Speak and Spell app be on like the iPhone that like was like an emulator of the Speak and Spell? A B. Remember the way he used to talk?
There's got to be. There's got to be one.
Yeah.
There's got to be.
Jamie, look that up.
There's got to be a Speak and Spell app.
Yeah. It's got to have that exact voice though of the original Speak and Spell guy. The very robotic like.
Yeah, whatever emulator they use to fucking, make that come out of a fucking 8-bit speaker.
Yep.
That's all I had.
All right.
I couldn't remember what else I did this fucking week.
All right, no worries. So that being said, I think we're going to take a very quick break before we get to our main topic.
Yeah, you're going to go tinkle, are you?
Yeah, I think I am going to pee just because it's a good time to do so.
There you go.
So, in fact, I'll just for the audience,
Yeah, just out of tradition, as you should.
As I should. So we're going to take a quick break and be right back after this word from our sponsors.
Bronco Fett says there is one, by the way.
What?
Speak and Spell. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's $1.99 though. Oh, there's a... Hang on. It'd almost be worth paying $2 just to fucking have that and annoy people with it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he downloaded the wrong game. I don't know. Did you download the right game, dude?
I don't know.
Scott said he downloaded it and started playing San Fran as his favorite team. week 1.
I tried to pick San Francisco. In the list of options that it gave me, San Francisco was nowhere on there.
It had Las Vegas as a team. Like,
I don't know, man.
It's update, like when you look at the retro bowls, like as opposed to Super Bowls, it's current as up to this year. Like, so it's basically taking like from this season going forward.
Take my balls going forward.
That doesn't make sense. Oh, did you hear the speaking spell?
No.
Oh, now I gotta play it for you.
Oh shit.
All right, ready?
Now spell answer. A-N-S-W-E-R. Correct. Spell angel.
You just say anal?
It's $1.99 though. I'm not paying $1.99. But yeah, you have to click NFC, Jason. It starts you on AFC.
Oh.
Reading is fundamental.
Oh, I fucked up.
Asshat.
All right, let me get the John Hughes link up before we get started on the next.
John Hughes, press over. What John Hughes link are you talking about?
I put it in the fucking notes. Asshole.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
Whatever. Oh, can you kill the fucking heat? It's like way too hot in here. Oh, God. Yes, do it, Jeffrey. And make me a sandwich.
How many ways can Jason get stabbed in one show?
I'm going for a record.
Oh, Jason, at the bass fishing tournament last week. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we're standing there and like me and John are talking. This is when John gave me the paintings and we're at my car talking. We were bullshitting out there for like an hour and a half. Just kind of catching up and talking about a bunch of shit. And I see a couple of people drive by and I see a guy in a flight suit in a truck like holler at me. I'm like, hey, it looked like one of the old pilots that we used to have back on the 135s. But I'm like, that kind of looks like that one guy, but I don't know. Okay, whatever. And then, yeah, we find out like later that night or the next day that it was Vickers.
Yep.
Like, oh, shit. Okay. So, yeah, it's pretty funny.
All right, we ready to do 30?
Yeah. Do it. And we're back. So, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. 35th anniversary. Bueller. Anyone? Oh my God. We'll talk about Ben Stein and his whole scene as we get going. So, yeah, 35th anniversary. Released in 1986. Technically, June 11th, 1986. I mean, I'm sure you remember too when this fucking first came out.
I did, but not for like... I didn't see it until video.
Same. Yeah, I didn't see it in theaters.
Yeah, because it just wasn't something that I would have even thought to have gone. I was 11 years old, so it wasn't something I was going to go see in a movie
right. And you look at my reference to me and my family not being the wealthiest at the time.
Right.
So we had to wait for shit to either come out on video or on the movie channel, whatever.
Yeah, it would have had to have been fucking, earth shattering to get to like Star Wars level to go to the movie theater.
Exactly.
For.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think I saw Ferris Bueller probably until like 89 or 90, honestly. So it probably took a few years before I actually saw it.
Yeah, I mean, probably the same for me. Only because I saw it at a time when I could really appreciate it as like probably a high school student.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh man, I wish I could pull some shit like this off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like this whole idea of it was definitely, it was most likely in my freshman year, like 89, 90.
Yeah, and you know where I probably saw it for the first time? Probably when it was on TV in syndication. Because that's something that we don't really talk about a lot. But back in those days, in the 80s and 90s, big movies would sometimes like hit TV in syndication, and they'd play on one of the cable TV channels. You know,
Right.
you'd have commercials, they'd be edited for TV. You know, all the curses would be taken out, and they'd have like
Shortened.
Yeah, they'd have stuff dubbed over them. Yeah, they'd be shortened.
Yep.
Sometimes, in some occurrences, they'd actually add in new scenes that were not in the theatrical cuts of the movie.
Right.
You know, to make it fit that 2-hour block.
Yep.
Which is what they would normally be in. It'd be 2 hours with commercials.
Yep.
For most of these movies. So, yeah, that's something that we don't really talk about these days. But, you know, a lot of the times it was on the weekends, right? On the weekends and the mornings and afternoons, you would see these shows or these movies on in syndication on these like cable channels. So,
Yeah, I can't honestly say how I saw the movie the first time.
yeah.
It's just one of those that when I saw it, I'm like, I need to, like, I want my life to be like this. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be.
Me and Silent Bob modeled our whole fucking lives around Ferris and Cameron.
Here, can you slide that over a little bit? Yeah. Why don't you just throw it out anywhere?
Yeah. But yeah, so I'd be willing to bet that the first time I saw it was probably in syndication. I probably didn't see it full, unedited, probably until the early 90s.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Because again, that's how we saw movies back then. It was whatever like came on cable or whatever your parents decided was worth renting.
Right.
Because back then, even though we had access to video stores, we weren't the fucking ones paying for it.
Yeah, shit, I didn't have that kind of money to go get the brown box, like go fucking to the corner video store and fucking be able to rent something. No, and you had to like really be on the good boy list to fucking even be able to choose one of the movies.
Yep. So when it came out, it had a $5 million budget, which was, you know, fair for movies that didn't have special effects back then, and it made $70 million at the box office, which again in 1986 is pretty fucking substantial.
That's huge.
Yeah, so like
think about it.
massive return on their investment with this movie, which probably is what helped John Hughes make the rest of his fucking movies, because he already was on a pretty good hot streak at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where does this fall in the John Hughes like?
Well, I will tell you,
Oh.
because I happen to have like the whole John Hughes filmography, the stuff that he either wrote, produced, directed, or any combination therein.
All right, let's hear it.
So as a writer, he started off in 1982 with National Lampoon's Class Reunion. Have you ever seen that?
Don't think so.
This is another one of those movie channel movies because it was a shitty movie, right? National Lampoon became big. You know, the magazine was big, obviously, and then they branched off into like movies like Animal House.
Right.
Animal House was technically National Lampoon's Animal House.
Right.
Huge fucking movie. They took the bar, the whole fucking bar. So they tried this Class Reunion thing. Terrible movie. But again, not having access to many movies back in the day, Jason Roskam saw National Lampoon's Class Reunion a couple dozen times, and he enjoyed it back in the day. And John Hughes wrote that. He also wrote this little movie starring Michael Keaton called Mr. Mom.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Again, a movie that I saw because my parents had it in the house, and I saw it a lot with the fucking the whoopee.
Oh, yeah. And that was another movie that was in heavy syndication back in the 80s and 90s.
I believe it.
It was on fucking cable TV every fucking weekend for years, it
Oh, I
seemed
totally
like.
believe it. Absolutely. The fucking vacuum cleaner.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fucking
We
great.
should talk about Mr. Mom.
Yeah, so that was 83 is when Mr. Mom came out.
Okay.
Also in 83, National Lampoon's Vacation,
Yeah.
little movie starring Chevy Chase. He wrote that.
A little movie.
Yeah, I heard it
had a modicum of success.
Yeah, I heard it was successful.
Yeah.
Then the next year he wrote 16 Candles. That was the first of the teen comedy dramedy movies starring Molly Ringwald. This was where
Written and directed.
Yep, written and directed that one. And you also see a theme with like actors like in repeated roles. Anthony Michael Hall was in Vacation. He was in 16 Candles. Also in The Breakfast Club, which came out the next year in 1985.
Right.
Written and directed by John Hughes. Then European Vacation, he wrote. I haven't seen European Vacation in a long fucking time.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah, I see. I don't remember. Like, I think I haven't seen it since the 80s, quite frankly. The only part I remember is when that chick opened up her fucking top when her and Rusty were making out. And she, like, opens up her top and just, like, tits right there. That's what's going on right now.
Boobies.
Yeah.
I like boobies.
And then, and then the circle. Hey,
Big Ben Parliament.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the part I remember the most. Because I just say it all the time.
Yeah, I remember almost nothing else from that movie. So, whatever. Then, at the end of 85, Weird Science, he wrote and directed.
More Anthony Michael Hall.
Oh, my God. And I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Which, sadly, I have not watched. Like, I really enjoyed that movie when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I haven't really rewatched it as an adult.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how it holds up now, because I watched it, again, many, many times as a kid. That was another one of those movies that we had on a Betamax tape, and I would watch it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Fucking Robert Downey Jr. in one of his earliest roles in that movie.
That's right.
So, and again, Anthony Michael Hall, all over these John Hughes fucking movies. Then we move to 86, which is the year of Ferris Bueller, also the year of Pretty in Pink. Mm-hmm. So, again, John Hughes, fucking all of these 80s teen fucking movies. Dude. He is everywhere.
And look, this isn't a John Hughes episode, but
no, but
like, I'm looking at his filmography, and you just have to, if you're listening to this and you don't appreciate John Hughes, like, you think, yeah, kind of old, whatever. Like, I just want for a moment just to shout out a lot of these fucking flicks, right?
Sure.
Because I'm willing to bet that these titles, and I'm going to say out loud, a majority of these are going to still hold up, right? Ferris Bueller's Day Off, to me, is one of them. Spoiler alert.
Yep.
Right? Starting with that. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Love that fucking movie.
My favorite part was when he grabbed him by the nuts. And then the next scene, he's talking and his voice is all like fucking like a high-pitched voice.
Like, you're going the wrong way.
How do they know what way we're going?
The Great Outdoors. Another great fucking movie. Christmas Vacation.
Naturally.
Uncle Buck.
Mm-hmm.
Home Alone.
Oh, I've heard of that movie.
Yeah.
I heard that was pretty popular.
You may have heard of that.
Yeah.
Get all the way to 91. Dutch, which is a kind of an underrated movie in my mind.
I've never seen Dutch.
You've never seen Dutch?
Never seen it.
It's actually kind of good.
Well, that stars Al Bundy, right?
Yeah, Ed O'Neill.
Yeah.
It's Ed O'Neill, and he's a real fucking prick, too. Like, in this little bastard kid. Oh, dude, it's fucking great. Curly Sue is in 91. And then Beethoven, the Beethoven movie. Like,
yeah.
There's a lot of fucking really good flicks.
Yeah. No, he's got, like, a hell of a fucking resume.
Yeah, he does. But yeah, this Ferris Bueller's Day Off, to me, is...
Yeah, Ferris Bueller came, like, at his peak, right? He'd already done fucking Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Pretty in Pink, and then Ferris Bueller was, like, the next fucking thing. So he was, like, firing on all fucking cylinders. And again, the box office, that's how we kind of got here in the first place. Mm-hmm. The box office showed that, like, he was still had a very successful track record up to this point. And... like, fuck, man.
$70 million in those days for a movie like that where you're paying children. I mean, honestly,
yeah.
Like, Matthew Broderick, what do you think he made in that fucking movie?
Oh, $125K max.
Yeah. I mean, shit. He probably still pulls a nickel in royalties every time it's on fucking television.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, I wanted to go into the John Hughes stuff. One movie from the John Hughes list before we move away from him that I've never seen. In addition to the one that you said, Dutch, I have never seen Some Kind of Wonderful. I know that was kind of like his last big, or one of his last big, like, actually teen dramedies, and it had my girl in it. What's her name? Marty McFly's mom.
Oh,
girl from Howard the Duck. Why am I drawing a blank on her name? Jamie, help us out.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I see your face.
Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. Like, Leah Thompson. Thank you, Scott.
Thompson was coming out. But
Yeah, Leah Thompson. Like, she was in that, but I've never seen it.
I think I hurt myself.
Anyway, something that one of these days I might try to get to because, again, John Hughes is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good track record. It's really, really hard to, it's really hard to shit on his work.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah, so this movie, obviously, the time that it came out, people of our generation, Generation X, right? We're a part of Generation X. We are the latter end of Generation X, I would say. Fairly. I think, what does it end at, like 80, 81, something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, we were 75 and 76. So we were the tail end of Generation X, but we were still there. So imagine the people that were a few years older than us when this first came out, really probably identifying with it. And like these scenes in high school, the Ben Stein scene that we talked about.
Yeah.
Where he's just droning onto the class and they're all just like dead-eyed looking at him.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Great Depression. Anyone? And that really, like, that brings back so many memories of high school, of these fucking, like, history teachers or whatever just droning on, and you're just like...
Just, like, drooling on yourself. Just fucking, like, can we get to the end of the fucking day?
Yeah.
And you know what's funny, too, is, like, for me, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it's still that John Hughes, like, weird... This is not your high school type thing. Like, this is obviously, you know, a different high school, right?
Sure.
But it's not the Breakfast Club high school where you got the fucking dinosaur fossils on the fucking library type
Right.
wall. But it's you know, the interacting in the fucking hallways, right? Where you have, you know, people fucking locker slamming and fucking people talking and going back and forth and everything else. Like, it's probably it's probably one of the closest things you actually get to, like, how things really are in the chaos that is fucking what's going on in a school.
Yeah.
You know, the gym locker room. So you're fucking putting on a gym uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sidebar, how fucking crazy is it that you had a fucking gym uniform? Like, all right, here, let's put this on, coordinate these outfits.
Yeah.
And fucking put on a gym uniform. Did you have gym uniforms?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They were red shorts. They were more like maroon shorts and gray t-shirts.
Yeah, we had... What was the ones at fucking high school? Fuck, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, that penguin's fucking gone. Holy shit. Anyway, yeah, it's just... that's one thing... Oh, spoiler alert. Like, coming back to the movie, I didn't rewatch it.
No?
I didn't.
You felt like you didn't need to at this point?
I made I was like, I was gonna rewatch it, and I'm like, you know what? I want to see, like, you said you hadn't watched it in, like,
it had been many a years since I'd watched it.
You hadn't watched it in forever, so for you, I felt like it was kind of a fresh look, and for me, I wanted to see how much it, like, I've seen it so many times that it's basically. It's built into my fucking my RAM at this point. You know, it's fucking in my CMOS.
So yeah, the interesting thing about watching it this time, when I watch movies these days, I try to look for those deeper meanings, right? Problem?
I need a refill.
Oh. You're looking around like there's a bug flying around or something.
No.
So, but no, when I go back and I watch movies now, I kind of, and I'm taking notes and things like that, I'm trying to watch it with more of a critical eye. And I try to pick up on bigger themes and messaging and everything. And one of the first things that stuck out was this whole transition, because these kids are seniors, right? Except for Ferris's sister. She was like a year or two younger than him. But Ferris and Cameron and what's her name, Sloane, they're all seniors.
Yep.
And they're getting ready for that next stage in life, and depending on which character you're looking at, like they either, like Ferris, he's the confident one. He's the one who fucking knows everything that he wants. He wants to marry Sloane. He's like super confident. Nothing's gonna bother him. Nothing's gonna get under his skin. He's just gonna go with the flow and be happy and do whatever. Whereas Cameron, he knows what his parents want him to do, but that's not what he wants, and you know he's really conflicted about the future. And Sloane kind of gives you the same sort of thing with her and like what the hell she's going to do after high school and all that. And you know, it brought me back to that time where
Sloane was a junior.
Oh, she was a junior also? Yeah. Okay. So, but it really brings me back to that time. It's like you're a senior in high school. It's like, what the fuck? what's next? Where I think for me, it could have just been very easy to like go to college, do a couple years of college, stay at home, basically do the same fucking thing you've been doing for the last 4 years for another 2 years.
Right.
6 months of that, I'm like, nah, time out. I'm gonna do something else. But I can see for a lot of kids as seniors in high school, like, or even juniors looking into the future and like, what the fuck am I gonna do with myself? And really not being sure, or like everybody's saying I should do this. My parents want me to go in this direction, but I don't know. I don't know if that's what I want. And just that uncertainty of the end of your high school years, like I really related to when it came to this one.
So I want you to talk about you have a list of the characters here, and you wanted to talk about the characters because your opinion is that this is not necessarily a movie about Ferris.
No. So that was the other thing that I really picked up on as I was watching it this time. It's like, this movie is not about Ferris Bueller. It's Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which the whole concept of the movie, it takes place over the course of a day, right? Really over the course of like 9-10 hours, something like that, which it's always neat when a movie can do that. And John Hughes, he does that in a lot of his movies. Breakfast Club is the same thing.
Right.
But it wasn't about Ferris at all. There was no growth. There was no development with Ferris. It was just, from his perspective, it was just another day of him fucking off. One of the 9 other days that he had already taken off earlier. 9 times, yeah. So this was nothing different for him. He had no growth. He had no change. He was the same character at the end of the movie that he was at the beginning. So it really wasn't about him. It was about, to me, either Cameron or his fucking sister, Jeannie, or both. Because they were the only 2 characters in this movie that had any kind of development. Like, from the beginning of the movie to the end, they were very different. And they both were. Sloane, like, I hate to say it, but she was really a nothing character. She was so one-dimensional in this movie. She had really nothing. She was kind of just like the sidekick girlfriend, didn't really do much.
Sure.
And maybe she was like kind of taken aback a little bit when Ferris was like, marry me, let's get married, we'll do this, and and she kind of accepted it by the end, like, I'm gonna get married to him one day, or whatever the line was.
Well, like you said, I would agree with you that her character really was fairly superfluous. Yeah. Like, it was, all right, we need this character to kind of fill out what was going on. But it does add to this amazing, getting her out of the fucking school.
Oh, yeah. Like, that whole...
fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Listen, so... Just... All right. So here's my thing about this movie, right? This is... You think of all the things that are, like, happening in this movie, right? When did War Games come out?
Okay, so that was War Games. I don't know. See, what I was thinking was later on when we get to the scene with Charlie Sheen, like fucking Red Dawn just kept popping into my head.
83 is when War Games came out.
Okay, right? So we're a few years removed from War Games at this point.
So, because I'm thinking like, internet stuff, right? Because you have all this...
He's got his computer.
He's got the computer.
He does a little bit of hacking.
Right. The synthesizer that he's doing the coughing and stuff like that. And
speaking of which, I was watching a YouTube video recently as I was doing research for this. Apparently, like, all the gadgets and shit that he had in his room, the fucking synthesizer, that fucking beef-ass stereo, the computer, we're talking like $100,000 worth of electronics in his fucking room at the time.
That fucking house that they lived in that neighborhood. It's just like insane amount of money.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Home Alone house, don't get me wrong.
Well...
Where the Home Alone family, like, they were fucking billionaires apparently. Yeah. Where like the house was a little more modest, but like all the shit he had in his room, easily 100 G's at the time.
But saying that, this synthesized, like, how you put this plan together, like, okay, I'm going to take this day off, and it's going to be, I'm putting everything together so that it's going to be an epic fucking day off. This isn't just cutting for the day. This is cutting. This is an epic cut day. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I get caught, so be it. But
he put in so many things in place to make sure that he didn't get caught. And
this is going to be so worth it at the end because it was going to be this big of a day, right? Mm-hmm. I've had this day.
Yeah.
We had this day my senior year. Mm-hmm. And the level of planning that goes into a day like this is fucking remarkable. And not to the point where it's like synthesized voices and trying to fake sickness.
And the fucking mannequin.
The
and
mannequin
fucking
sitting up in bed. And like when the door flies open, the mannequin's like, shook.
Yeah.
But because of this movie, like literally me and my friends, and we cut school one day. It was like one of the first days of spring. We cut school and we went down to shore. And it was a fucking great day.
I think I know this day because you've told the story on the show before.
I've told the story, yeah.
With the dad that eventually caught you guys.
Yeah, they were test driving some fucking car and ended up chasing us down as we were driving back on the fucking expressway. Oh my God, it was fucking insane. But like, coordinating like these phone calls and making sure that like, okay, the parents aren't going to be home for this, and the school's going to call and make sure the answering machine is turned off, so it just fucking all this coordination to have this fucking day. And that's what Ferris is doing. He's like, I'm going to have this day. And I'm going to convince fucking Cameron. Like, Sloane was probably easy to convince. Like, she's like, oh, I'm going to be a part of this because I'm a junior. Whatever. I'm in high school. Like, this is just going to be fucking...
Right, and even when like the nurse or whatever showed up at her fucking class.
Right.
And they're like, Sloane, we need to see you. And she's like, oh... Let me get all my stuff, because she knew. Like, she already knew at that point. Like, shit was going down.
Like, what time is it? Yep, it's about time.
Yeah,
it's time. He's ready. I better get going.
Yeah.
But, I use this as it's like this analog of I was like the stick in the mud a lot of times for taking these days, like much like Cameron. It's I had that friend that was like, come on, man, it's like really easy. Like it's not going to get caught. And if you do, it's not going to be a big deal, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm not listening to him this time.
Right.
I'm not going to get out of bed. Like he's going to keep calling. He's going to keep calling and calling and calling. It's that.
You're having that monologue.
Yes. Like he's going to keep calling and calling, calling. No. And like having this internal, like these Cameron moments. And then when you fucking finally do have that day, and it's just like, there's such a release from it. Like, even though I for my day, I did get caught ultimately, without some epic chase scene at the fucking end.
Right.
Yeah, it's just what made this movie for me. What cemented it was having a fucking day like that, and I really think that in my little friend group, like going through high school, we always had this kind of mentality, like we kind of want to have this day, right? We want to there's a point where you're like, we want to make this day happen at some point. Like, okay, we're seniors now. Let's fucking do this. Let's make this thing happen as close to it as we can.
The senioritis is a real thing too. At least it was back then. And I remember too.
Oh, fucking A, right.
I remember the beginning of my senior year, all the fucking teachers being like, well, don't get caught up in the whole senioritis thing because you're gonna fall behind. You're not gonna pass the class and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I'll take this seriously, whatever, because I was still a good kid at the beginning of my senior year. About halfway through, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I know I'm going to pass these classes. I'm not going to do shit. And it was like I had a huge case of senioritis the second half of fucking senior year.
Dude, so Chantal in the chat just talks about, was it Chantal? Yeah, she said perfect attendance all 4 years of high school, right? I had perfect attendance like from, I think, third grade up until like my freshman year of high school.
Yeah, I was pretty good with attendance most of my school years too.
But
attendance and actually giving a shit are two very different things.
Two very different things. So by the time it got to a point in high school, like, oh man, there was so much shenanigans my senior year. So much fucking shenanigans. Making friends with people in the office that like, and getting hold of passes and allegedly making copies of the stamp that they used to stamp said passes so that you could get in and out of fucking classes. And, and I was like, we were in our group. We weren't like the bad kids. Like we were the good kids. But
I was one of the good kids too.
Fucking murder because we had that reputation of being in the good kid group, so they were like, nobody would think that you would do something like this.
Yeah.
And we fucking played on that constantly, and it was fucking great.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a point in my senior year when I was like, all right, I can't afford to go to the school I want to go to. I'm gonna go fucking, I'm going to be like, like Sloan, or Cameron or whatever. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go to fucking 13th grade and go to the community college. And this is what my destiny is. So I don't need to fucking do well in fucking, algebra 2. And, I was like, fuck it. I need to pass this class and that class. I need to show up for this and this. And I told all my teachers, I'm like, no, I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
I'll show up. I won't be a disturbance, but don't expect anything out of me.
Yeah.
And I just told them up front, and most of them were like, we get it. No, it's all good. And, it was the worst grades I ever got in my life.
Same.
But
yeah.
My give a fuck factor was so low at that point that I just was like, I don't fucking care.
I, like, my entire life, I had always gotten A's and B's. All through elementary school, all through middle school, even through the first 2 years of high school. Only A's and B's. Never anything lower than that. Ever. Started getting some C's in junior year. Got my first D ever my second half of senior year. Because I just didn't give a shit. I knew I didn't need the class to fucking graduate. I was just there because I had to be. And I really just stopped fucking caring. I stopped doing homework. I stopped doing a lot of shit.
Well,
like,
I never did homework anyway. I was the worst at that.
Yeah, I was pretty bad at that too. But like, I do it when I needed to. I do it when it mattered.
When somebody was holding that sword of Damocles over my fucking head and like, you absolutely have to do your fucking homework. Because I just tested through everything.
Yeah.
I could take a test.
Oh yeah.
Like, I would show up and piss teachers off because I could take a fucking test. And not cheating or anything else. I just this material is fucking bullshit.
I might have cheated a few times too, but
I never ever fucking cheated.
No, I had a friend that was in this was junior year, I think. He was in the same class I was, but he was in like the period before me. So he'd always roll out and give me like the answers to a bunch of questions, but I digress. So
Swede is calling out Lunar Girl in the chat, by the way.
he's calling out Lunar Girl?
Yeah, it's saying
For
what
what?
a bad influence she was on him.
Oh.
How she led him astray in his studies, and
Really?
yeah.
I'd be curious to hear
Wow, that's
more of these stories.
That's definitely not expected out of Lunar Girl. It kind of changes my opinion of her.
I figured she was a straight shooter.
Yeah,
but-
same.
All right, so note to self: ask Swede more about the
Yeah,
details.
definitely. We should have him on, and we can get the straight skinny.
Indeed.
Anyway, back to Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes.
It really, but it kind of coalesces, right? Because this came at a point where, at least for me, it's established a foundation for what I expected my high school experience to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And like it or not, like whether it met that expectation or not, it was a foundation piece for my high school experience.
Mm-hmm.
And if that movie wasn't there, I don't even I think my high school experience would have been completely different.
You
honestly.
think so? You think
yeah,
one movie would have
definitely.
changed that, huh?
Definitely.
Huh.
It hit at the right time. Like I saw it at just the right time.
Well, and maybe that goes down to the message, the line that he has at the beginning and at the end about life moving too fast, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't stop to, what is it exactly? If you don't stop to enjoy it, you might miss it.
I'll stop and look around.
Oh, look around, you might miss it, So, and that's the thing, right? Where we could have just been good little drones and just like gone to class every time and just spent all of our extra time doing our homework and everything, but how much would we have missed?
Yeah.
Like so much happened during my senior year as part of my adult development that, I'm glad I fucked off school and went and did all these other things that I ended up doing that year.
Yeah, and you think Ferris was obviously well-rounded, right? He was well-liked in the school. Everyone liked him.
Yep.
He was obviously smart. He had, had all his computer skills. One of my favorite scenes, I'm not going to go blow by blow here, but one of my favorite scenes was fucking when Rooney's talking to his mom on the phone, and he's actively deleting the countdown,
Right,
for
as
how many
he's-
times he's absent.
As he's on the phone, and
she's-
Rooney's freaking out.
Yeah, he's trying to get her attention. The fucking goddamn secretary.
Oh yeah, who's been in like fucking everything in the 80s.
Edward Rooney, like the dude. I don't know. I forget the actor's name.
Jeffrey Jones,
He-
convicted sex offender. Jeffrey Jones.
No shit.
Oh yeah.
Before this movie?
No, after.
Oh, okay.
It was like
I was gonna
2003.
say he was on a busload with a bus full of children at the end.
No, that's what made that whole scene creepy for me watching
Gummy
it this
bear?
time. Yeah, no, like convicted pedophile Jeffrey
Wow.
Jones.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Mm-hmm. That does change things.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I
And-
didn't know that until just this moment, so it didn't really change anything.
But when you look at him, you're like, oh yeah, I totally see that.
Yeah. He had the vice principal, that dickbag vice principal thing or principal thing down, right? He's like, I'm the fucking guy, right? I'm going to take Ferris Bueller down. There's that one kid who gets away with murder, sweet talks his way through the fucking school. Honestly, I think my son was this kid. Honestly, both my kids got away with fucking murder.
Really?
They got away with murder. Like, oh, they sweet.
I blame the parents.
They sweet talk those teachers into like, oh, hey, this is due. No, don't worry about it. You can turn that in lane or like go in there and fucking just they would sweet talk their teachers into doing whatever they wanted.
Nice.
Like not like cheating or doing anything like that.
Yeah,
but-
nothing bad or nefarious.
No,
but
they would go in
they
there.
played on emotions.
Oh
and,
fuck yeah, dude! They were so good at it, and we could be sitting in there and fucking parent teacher conferences and going like, whose kid are they talking about?
Right.
But like, just that it was just really funny. Rooney, like he played the fucking character so well, and to watch him get so fucking just destroyed, especially when he goes to the fucking house.
Oh yeah.
Like, how dare you go to the fucking house? And I am so glad you fucking shit got eaten by that goddamn dog, right?
Right.
Like, you deserved everything that you got at the end of that.
Oh, yeah.
Because fuck you, and fuck your fucking suit, and fuck your fucking shoes.
And his fucking pedophile mustache.
That's right. Fuck you.
Yeah. So, but again, he was another one of those the one-dimensional characters I was talking about at the beginning of this movie. Like he's very set in his ways. He's very one-dimensional. He's just out to get this kid no matter what. No real thoughts or feelings or anything. What are you so distracted
What
with?
the fuck is happening in the chat?
I have no idea what's going on.
The chat is completely now gone to Die Hard as a debate about Die Hard being a Christmas movie.
Oh my god, that again?
Jesus Christ, what is happening?
That happens every year around this time.
Jesus.
The whole Die Hard Christmas movie. All right,
Anyway.
can we take a quick break?
Yes,
because
I actually.
yeah, I got to piss really bad too. So we're gonna take a second break, finish up this main topic. After this second word from our sponsors. Go.
Oh my god.
All right, so if you want the answer, I'll answer this question right now, and we'll finish this debate for good. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Period. It's a Christmas movie. Much like Home Alone is a Christmas movie. Just deal with it. It's one of those movies, when the season comes around, you just watch it as part of a Christmas tradition. And that's that. I don't even know how this is even a debate at this point. So, you heard it here first, folks. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Period. So be like Frozen and let it go. All right, what else we got going on here? I'm going to scroll up in the chat a little bit. Grace! Oh, Cam. Yeah, we got to talk more about Cam when we come back.
Oh god,
Yeah. Because, again, well, we'll get to it.
we'll do. I think we need to go through your character list.
Yes. Because we started to, and then we got sidebarred.
Well, it is the fucking name of the podcast. What? Fucking. I want to go back into the chat to see where exactly it fucking started with the guy with all the sweet senior skip day, blah blah blah. Sloan was a junior. Dirty Harry. Perfect attendance. Dragon. Fireworks. Okay. So much I want to say that I can't say right now. Molly Crew has a song called Chicks Equal Trouble, so I believe Sweet and Dragon Buddy. And then Chantal says Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Out of nowhere. I love it. Oh, wait, no, it goes back here. Where the fuck? Oh, DB is saying to Lunar Girl, Die Hard is not. I just
It's a little chilly out there.
see it got a little.
Got a little heated when it came to the Die Hard.
Yeah, there's like this.
Did I piss on my leg? Why is it all wet? Oh, it was the cup. Nothing. What?
If it starts to smell like piss in here, I swear to fucking God.
I did not piss on my leg, but. All right, can we go? And play.
Hang on. It's not like it's right there. I have to like click through a sequence.
And we're back again. Okay, so let's take a step back here. We got a lot of stuff that we kind of like breezed over that I sort of want to backtrack and talk about. Some of these characters, first of all. We hinted at a little bit before, like, who is this movie really about? And if you ask me, at the end of the day...
Well, let's go in order. You have an order. You have a list of characters here. Let's go in order.
All right. I mean, I didn't put them in any order in particular, but sure. We'll start with Ferris, because the movie is his namesake, right?
Right.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This isn't about Ferris. Like, we know who Ferris is. He's that friend, that super charismatic, doesn't give a shit, goes with the flow, nothing bothers him kind of friend. We've all known that person at some point over the years. I was definitely not that person, ever. But I've known that type of person.
Okay.
And, again, there's no change there. He's the same person at the end that he was at the beginning. And I don't think this movie is really about him.
Okay.
He's a good character. He's a fun character. You get these moments where things get serious and they start talking about their future and everything else. And then all of a sudden he just ends up on a float, fucking lip syncing to, "Hey, shake it up, baby, now.
Right.
Shake it up, baby." And you get this whole fucking dance scene and everything else. But it's really not about that. And you go to Cameron. Who?
Well, I want to talk about Ferris.
All right, go ahead. What do you have to say about Ferris?
So, first of all, oh shit, I'm not locked up over there, am I? Am I good?
No, but I'm locked up. Oh, nope, I think we're good.
All right. Yeah. So Ferris, like, for me, there was a Ferris Bueller, right? And this is one of the things I wanted to get out of you. Like, was there a Ferris Bueller in your high school?
Yes. Yeah, I'd probably equate it to my friend Austin.
Okay.
As the Ferris of the group, the very nonchalant, just kind of like go with the flow,
right?
Good time guy,
Liked by everybody, kind of person.
very charismatic.
Yep.
People are just drawn to him.
Yep. And this was my friend Jeff. This was my best friend growing up, all through high school and everything. Somebody I still talk to. He's a fucking marketing rep for a pharmaceutical company. I mean, he's an amazing salesman because he has that fucking personality.
Right.
And he lived in a household where he got away with fucking everything. Like if he was like, "Hey, I don't feel like staying in school today. I'm just going to leave and my mom's going to cover for me." And she did, because he was a fucking honor student. Like, there was never any, like, he never got any bad grades. Like, he didn't do anything really bad.
Right.
It was like, if he decided to fuck off and stay home that day, then that's what he did. Right. So, and he's the one that's fucking goading me, like, in that group, I was the Cameron, right? But when you're talking about like Ferris and it not being his, like it not being about him, I'll wait till the end, but I'm going to make an argument that I think is going to make Ferris more important than you're giving him credit for.
Oh, I think he's important for driving the rest of the people around him. But, you know, again, let's talk about Cameron. And first of all, you get the sense right from the beginning that he's like a hypochondriac, right?
Oh, God,
the guy who's always sick and
I mean,
constantly having problems.
Ferris basically calls it out right away. Like, yeah, he's like, he says it. Like, Ferris is like doing his hair, right? I'm pretty sure I remember this, right?
Yeah.
Like after he calls Cameron, and Cameron's like, I'm sick. And Ferris is in the mirror, is like, he's not sick.
Yeah.
Like he's sitting in bed right now, and like doing whatever. Like, yeah, he's not sick. He's just he talks about like the household he's living in, and everything else, and so yeah, Ferris knows. He's like, no, Cameron just needs to fucking get out of the fucking house.
Right. But you know, you get the sense, especially as the movie goes on, Cameron and his relationship with his dad. That's the whole driving factor with Cameron is, you know, his dad has like all this expensive stuff. Obviously, his dad is a fucking millionaire.
Right.
Who knows what the fuck he does or who he is.
Look at that house.
Yeah.
The fucking Ferrari.
Yeah, and the glass enclosure that's, you know, perched over the fucking wooded area.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, come on.
Well, I mean, let's say the car personifies basically his father and his relationship with his father.
Right. You know, and he even mentions early on that his dad loves the car more than him. And like, this is like what John Hughes does. And, you know, you could probably look deeper into the psychology of John Hughes himself. When you analyze shit like this. You go to like the Breakfast Club. Fuck. That's like 90% of what the Breakfast Club was all of these characters and their relationship with their parents and their strained relationships with their parents, where you get a little bit of that in Ferris Bueller, specifically with Cameron and his parents, and that whatever tension there is between him and his dad. And it's prevalent throughout this whole fucking movie. And what?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think it's my chair.
Oh, all right.
You know, he's scared of his father. He's petrified of him. He knows that he loves these material things more than him. And by the end, through Ferris and through, you know, Ferris showing him that like, hey, there's a whole other world out here outside of this fucking little bubble that you're living in, where your dad's shitting on you all the time, and you know, you have your whole future planned out for you. Like there's other things outside of that.
Right.
And by the end, that's when he's like kicking the front of the fender of the fucking Ferrari, you know, and
when they're trying to drive it fucking, when like, hey, we'll just spin the tires backwards. It'll fucking take the miles off the car.
Which, I mean, has that ever worked in the history of automobiles?
No, never.
Right.
Never. Like,
so the fact that he thought about that in the first place.
Well, all right. Let's talk about that just half a second. Let's sidebar into that just for half a second. So I'm basically, like, I grew up working on cars and everything else. Like, watching this, I knew very well that this wasn't going to work, right? Because I had an idea of how an odometer works, right?
Right.
So I knew this wasn't going to work. Thinking about it now, like, if this is the first time you're watching this movie, you talk about things that don't hold up. Think about 1986. There's no internet.
Yeah.
There's no internet. If you don't have an idea how the fucking odometer works, you're not going to know that shit's not going to work. Like, you have no idea. It's like, well, I mean, car goes backwards. Why wouldn't the mileage come off? Now, okay, you're a senior in high school, so you had at least a semester of fucking some sort of lab where you tested a hypothesis. So you would think that maybe we'll drive it backwards for, I don't know, maybe 100 yards to see if the fucking odometer changes.
Right.
Like, that's probably what I would do if I'm going to take my dad's Ferrari out. I'm like, all right, well, maybe we'll just drive it backwards a little bit, see how the odometer moves, and if it doesn't move, fuck, I'm putting it back in the garage.
Right.
Right? That's what fucking normal people would do. Not like, no, fuck it. We're going to take it all the way into fucking town and then leave it in a garage because what could possibly go.
Let these attendants do whatever they're going to do with
do
it.
some Dukes of Hazzard shit with it.
Which, like, one of the more iconic scenes, honestly.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Of this movie is the two fucking, like, garage attendants, like, fucking, woo!
I would have never had thought in my life that would even have been a thing. that you would have given your keys to these people, that they would ever do something like that until I saw this movie.
Well, and then you
Like,
think
what
about
would-
it from their perspective. They're probably making minimum fucking wage.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody just hands them the keys to this Ferrari. What are you gonna fucking do?
Like, what are they going to do? Fire us?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
What's the worst they're going to do? Like, as long as it drives back up there, fuck him.
Which, in a funny, weird twist, the main garage attendant, the guy who took the keys, like, oh, hey, man, don't worry. We'll take good care of it.
Right.
That guy was also a bit character in Howard the Duck that same year.
Oh, no
in
shit.
1986. He was one of the guys that was in the club when Leah Thompson's band was playing. And Howard, like, fucking kicked his ass or whatever later. But,
Oh, my God. I have to see Howard the Duck again. I don't remember any of that shit.
dude, Leah Thompson in that movie,
She was hot.
Yeah.
I mean, considering she's getting it on with a fucking duck.
right.
Anyway.
Anyway, so, but yeah, he was in that movie also.
All right.
So, yeah, right.
yeah, I'm bringing up our YouTube feed because the laptop's locked up, and I'm missing everything that's on the chat. So
Okay.
I'm bringing it up on this machine so that I can follow along.
All right. Well, I'm still good. So,
All right.
anyway, so yeah, we talk about the relationship with the parents. It was a huge thing in the Breakfast Club. Not as big of a thing in this because Ferris's parents, quite frankly, they were those pushover parents, right? They were the ones that, like, oh, my angel would never do anything bad.
The difference between my friend Jeff's parents and Ferris's parents was they weren't as oblivious to it. They knew what was going on.
Right.
They just didn't care
Right.
because, well, fuck, he's getting good grades and whatever. Like,
Sure.
We'll cover for him.
Right.
That was the thing. Like, your parents wouldn't cover for you for this? Like, no! Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So, speaking of Ferris's parents, like, I didn't realize this until I went on to IMDb and I actually Googled this. Cindy Pickett and Lehman Ward, whatever, who played Ferris's parents. So
Okay.
the two people, the two actors that played his parents, actually got married in real life after filming this movie.
No shit. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah, so they were married for what looks like 6 years. They got divorced in 1992.
Ha!
But yeah, his parents in this movie got married in real life.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Which I just thought was kind of interesting. But, you know, I think that the whole relationship to the parents is huge in these movies. For, you know, people like me, like I really, you know, related to this shit. Between my relationship with, like, my stepdad and my real dad and, you know, the shit going on with me and my mom, you know, I could see and I understood all of these conflicts that these characters had with their parents. And I'm like, yeah, that really fucking hits home. And I get it. And I'm sure a lot of people in our generation fucking got that too.
Oh, yeah.
So
John Hughes was really, really good at that.
yeah, and which again makes me think that he probably had his own fucking parental issues growing up. Like, he had to have, based on all of the shit that we've seen in his movies. But again, by the end of this movie, we go from Cameron, like, oh, we can't take this. We can't do this. Like, yeah, no. My dad loves this car, to, like, kicking in the fucking fender.
Right.
And then when it goes through the back of the fucking glass garage,
Yeah.
you know, he's just like, yeah, fuck it. We're good. You
Yep.
know, he's just like fucking ready to have this battle at this
Yep.
point. Which, another piece of trivia, that was not a real Ferrari that went over the fucking the thing. Apparently, they just took some Ford fucking Pinto or something, and
Yeah,
put
they put like a kit body on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did know that. Yeah, because that would have been a fucking travesty.
indeed.
Like, no, you don't throw a Ferrari off the fucking, off the side of a hill like that.
Yeah, but I mean, you talk about Cameron, and, like, I feel like he's truly the heart of this movie. Like, Ferris is the driver of everything, but Cameron is, like, he's the heart. He's the guy that Ferris really has to, like, kind of pull out of a shell, and he's really got to convince him to do all this stuff. By the end of the movie, he's comfortable with it.
Right.
He's ready to kind of, like, be this new person.
So let me ask you this: Is Ferris a good friend?
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure. Like, because he recognizes this isolated bubble that Cameron has put himself into, and he's like, dude, you gotta get out of that.
All right. So, follow-up question: If you're in the first, I don't know, the first half of this movie, when before they get to the Oh fuck! What the
The baseball game?
before the baseball game,
The
it's,
Sears Tower?
the sausage, Abe Froman, the Abe Froman.
Oh, yeah. The fancy restaurant.
Right before you get to
How
that,
dare you!
before they get to Abe Froman,
Uh-huh.
like, do you still think that way of Ferris, or do you think that it's
Well, at that point, you think he's just kind of this, like, very aggressive,
right?
like, kind of, like, trying to manipulate people into just doing what
'cause
he wants.
Yeah, he wanted the car, right?
Yeah, he
Like,
wanted the
he
car. He
for
wants to go to the
day.
restaurant, like make this call, be this voice, do this thing, get my
Yeah.
girl out of class.
Right.
You know, at first you think he's
You,
using
sir,
it,
are an asshole.
and you know that's a good point, right? Like in the beginning, you think he's kind of using him to just kind of like
Yeah.
like get the means to his ends. Mm-hmm. But by the end, with this shift that you see in Cameron's character, it's like, okay, maybe Ferris was, you know, like had good intentions all along, getting Cameron to kind of go out of his comfort zone a little bit and do all of these things that he wouldn't normally do.
Right.
But, you know, while all of this is happening, he's kind of realizing like, oh yeah, maybe it is a little bit better outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah,
Then-
because I think the reality is, and I know there's a lot of people that would make that argument that like Ferris is a real shitbag for kind of like he creates this huge problem for Cam when at the end of the day, you know, aside from Cam trying to drown himself, you know, like,
Well, but I think even then, like we kind of knew it was bullshit at that point.
yeah,
Like, because when like Sloane asks him, it's like, "Did you see me changing
Yeah.
like beforehand when you were catatonic?"
Right.
And he's like, "Yeah,
yeah, Ferris Bueller, you're my hero."
yeah,
Like it's, but you know, Ferris is like he could very well have had this day completely without Cameron.
sure,
Like you know he could have,
Right.
Because he's Ferris Bueller. You know, he obviously has this reputation.
right." But this guy who was nothing like him, you know, this guy who had very different personality from him, was still his best friend, and he brought him along the whole way. Not because he was using him,
Right.
I'd like to think, but more because, you know, hey, come out with me, have fun. Let's get you out of bed and fucking, you know, into this baseball game or up in the fucking Sears Tower looking down or whatever we're gonna do, like in this fucking parade.
Yeah, the parade. That like again, I think that's probably the most common piece of trivia that people realize that like that parade was just a parade,
Yeah.
right? And they just jumped on there and were fucking filming. Like in the middle of it, like all the people that were there, they weren't like extras; they were just part of the fucking parade.
Right. Yeah, so and apparently, so here's another little piece of trivia that I noticed. Sidebar. So, you know, when we were going through COVID last year, and we were in the middle of all these fucking lockdowns and everything, Josh Gad, that fat actor who like was really big with Daisy Ridley and everything, he would do those like reunions, those reunion live streams. They did a Ferris Bueller's Day Off reunion live stream where they were all on fucking Zoom.
Oh, no shit.
And it was like all the major actors minus convicted pedophile Jeffrey Jones. But they even had like Ben Stein on there. Ben Stiller. But yeah, no, they had fucking Matthew Broderick and Alan Ruck, fucking Mia Sara, Jennifer Grey, Ben Stein, somebody else from the fucking movie, and they were all like last year like having a
Did
reunion.
they have Charlie Sheen on there?
No. Oh, we got to talk about Charlie Sheen. We got to talk about Jeannie and Charlie Sheen too. But like Jennifer Grey, apparently because she was a couple years younger than the rest of the cast members, like she really acted out a lot during the whole filming of this movie. She got into disguise during the parade scene, and she went up to Matthew Broderick and Alan Ruck and all these people and asked for their autographs and got pictures with them in like some fucking disguise. She's got these big fucking grandma glasses on, a wig, and she's
No
like, "Oh,
shit.
can I get your autograph and can I get a picture with you?" Because like she felt so left out from everything that they were doing.
Oh, I did hear that.
And she wasn't part of the whole parade scene. Like she wasn't like part of any of that while they were out in the city filming.
Right.
Right. Because she was back, you know, dealing with Mr. Rooney and everything else back at home. So yeah, I guess like 16-year-old Jennifer Grey was like fucking trying to like exert herself into the filming, even though she was part of the fucking cast of the movie.
That's really
which is
funny.
great. you know, and let's shift to Jeannie really quick. You know, Ferris's sister, the one who's always fucking annoyed by the fact that he can get away with murder. And even in the very beginning of this movie, when his mom's taking his fucking temperature and she's like peeking into his fucking room and he's just kind of like, you know, giving the wink and like, you know, smiling at her and everything. Like she knew, and he wasn't even trying to hide it from her.
Right.
At that point, right? Like he was just like, yeah, no, fuck, she can know, whatever.
Right. I got a computer, she got a car.
Yeah. And, you know, he mentions that a couple of times during the movie. And again, as this one-dimensional character to start, she's just all about, like, busting her brother, right? She's Candace from fucking Phineas and Ferb. Yeah. For anybody who gets that reference, right?
Yeah.
You know, all she wants to do is just, like, fucking bust her brother. And then we get to that point where, you know, she comes back home. She fucking has that run-in with Rooney at the house, right? Which was a great fucking scene, by the way.
Fucking kick him in the face.
Like a blah, blah, blah. And then she screams and runs away.
Fucking fantastic.
Yeah, great fucking scene. And then, like, she somehow gets picked up by the cops. What was it that got her into the police station?
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, I don't remember.
Yeah, neither do I.
Damn it.
Somehow she gets, like, picked up by the cops and in the police station, and that's when she runs into Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
And this is when I'm like, oh, we've got a fucking Red Dawn reunion going right here. What the fuck?
I'm giving a message. She can't. She's driving.
Online?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay.
It's a secret mission in uncharted space.
Yeah, we had a secret message delivered to Dave. We need to pause?
No, we're good.
Okay. Anyway, so she meets up with Charlie Sheen. That was really fucking weird. Like, Kristen came into the room with a note for Dave that I'm assuming was probably from Kathy or somebody.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, she tried to call. Kathy tried to call.
Uh-huh.
And I sent it to, you know,
to voicemail.
Because
you're doing the podcast. Because she hasn't, like, appreciated when you've taken her calls mid-show.
Right. Yeah, she doesn't like going live.
Right.
Which, you know, fair. But, yeah, I have a tasker that is time sensitive, and I will do it.
All right. So we're good?
We're good.
All right.
We're good. But if I'm distracted, I'm working on said tasker. Just
all right.
Don't worry. I'm good.
Hold on. Now I got to look up Red Dawn. Red Dawn. 1984. So Red Dawn was 2 years before this.
Okay.
But yeah, as soon as I see fucking Jennifer Grey and Charlie Sheen next to each other in the police station, I'm like, oh yeah, Red Dawn. Which Charlie Sheen, he's seen, you know, better days. But I bet he didn't have HIV during the filming of this movie.
Well, I mean, if he did, he probably wouldn't be alive today.
Yeah, tell that to Magic Johnson.
Well, I mean, Charlie Sheen at the time didn't have Magic Johnson money.
True. But anyway, so we had that scene with the two of them, and at that point,
reminds me of that fucking South Park show, the South Park episode.
I got AIDS. Jared from Subway has AIDS.
Oh God.
Oh man, that one didn't age well, did it? Oof, man.
Speaking of pedophiles. Or no, it wasn't pedophiles.
It was pedophile. Like that Jared.
It was pedophile?
Yeah, Jared from Subway. Oh yeah. Oh God. Oh man. Anyway, let's pivot a little bit. And up to this point where she was caught, even though like she had this fucking run-in with Rooney and everything else, she was still about like fucking Ferris, always getting away with murder and fuck him and everything else. And Charlie Sheen's like, why? Like, why do you care?
Right.
You know, who gives a shit? And that was kind of the moment. This fucking drug-filled, super pale fucking vampire in the police station like tells her like, hey, why do you give a shit what's going on with your brother? And like she starts making out with him, and all of a sudden she's a new character. So
yeah,
it was funny, and like she's the one at the end who ended up saving Ferris from Rooney when they kind of like converge at the fucking at his back door after this fucking ridiculous chase scene where he's running alongside his father and not noticing and just all kinds of like dumb shenanigans.
I am the kind of person that has a an eternal soundtrack, right? Mm-hmm. And we're kind of humming it earlier,
Yeah.
So when he's like running basically to get back, and he's hopping through people's houses and like kind of cutting through the kitchens and shit like that. Like whenever I'm doing like kind of bebopping around through something, that soundtrack kind of plays in my head.
Yeah.
Like of there's just like kind of and it's again it plays to the fact that this movie is part of the soundtrack of my generation.
Yeah. We had this one very uncharacteristic part during that scene too, where like he runs past the two chicks like in the bikini sunbathing.
Yeah, and he comes back.
Hey, Ferris Bueller. Very uncharacteristic because he was so committed to Sloane at this point. You would think that he wouldn't he wanted her to marry him and everything else,
right.
and he wouldn't even like look at somebody else. But
he's still a man.
He's still a guy.
Yeah,
apparently.
still fucking testosterone male.
Yeah, no, I found that interesting at the end of this whole movie where multiple times he's telling her like, we're gonna get married, I want to marry you, whatever. He's still like, oh, ladies, what's going on? So I just found that interesting.
Well, and look, this is the part of the movie where we're meant to like the only reason that these bikini clad girls are there is to have this moment, not to test his
it's for a small joke.
All right,
really.
exactly. And it hits. It really does.
Yep. And at the end of the day, he gets home and everything's all good. His sister, I guess him and his sister see more eye to eye at this point. And really nothing changes for him in his life, and he has that quote again at the end, life moves pretty fast.
If you don't slow down,
you might miss it. Yeah. You don't slow down to look around, I think. You might miss it. And it's, again, for us Gen Xers, we've seen life move so fast around us. Mm-hmm. This is one of the things, like one of my things where I say that Generation X is the greatest generation because we've seen all these technological advances and all this shit happen during our fucking lifetimes. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and we were talking about like space and astronomy and everything, and how so much has been discovered in our fucking lifetimes, with fucking Hubble going up in the mid-90s. And everything that we've learned from that about astronomy and about the fucking nature of the universe, just again in these last like 30 fucking years, life really has moved fast with the internet. How fast that grew and became so widely adopted and everything. And it's you go back and you think about this line. It's like life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop to look around, you might miss it. And fuck, dude, I feel like I've missed a lot in this life as we've watched things happen so fucking fast.
Well, and yeah, but at the same time, it's impossible to see everything, right?
Probably.
And I think there's at some point, like, look, I'm an ultimate pessimist. I really am. And, therapy and fucking pharmaceuticals helped me a lot. But the reality is, like, you have to at some point just appreciate the stuff that you did see and can see and will see, right?
Yeah.
Because you have this viewpoint where you're like, fuck, I don't necessarily want to miss something going forward. So how do I live, how do I get from being Cameron to become more like Ferris?
Yeah.
And be able to appreciate this. Like, you shouldn't need to have this fucking day where now I'm destroying a fucking, $200,000 vehicle,
But it's a good metaphor, right?
Sure.
The metaphor is get outside of your bubble, get out there, look at the world from outside of your fucking bedroom or whatever little bubble that you live in, and kind of live a little.
Right. And you know what? And saying that, it's not. Listen, this is not to. This is not to This is not to say that if you're like, if you know, getting out there and living a little doesn't mean like physically having to go and interact with other human beings. I mean, you can get
No.
out there
Yeah.
and fucking just enjoy the outside. Go
Right.
outside and fucking look at the moon. You know,
Which
enjoy-
I've been doing. Like, speaking of which, did you watch the fucking the Beaver Moon?
I did not.
Oh, dude.
I did not. I was awake too. That's what's fucked up.
No,
What-
like
what's-
I knew it. Like I knew, like going into it, the night before, I'm like, okay, when I get up tomorrow, because I get up at 3:45 in the morning because I fucking hate myself. You know, I knew
At least you're calling it.
when I woke up the next morning, I was gonna make my coffee and I was gonna step outside, and I did. And I'm first of all, the fucking trees out here are pissing me off because they're fucking tall, and I had to like walk halfway down the fucking street. I'm standing in the middle of the fucking road at 4 a.m. Like, if anybody is awake and looks outside and sees this idiot standing in the middle of the road, just like fucking in the middle of nowhere.
Out in the yard in my pajamas, staring at the house.
But I'm out there doing it anyway because I knew this was happening.
Right.
And I'm standing out there and I'm looking at the moon, and we were probably at about 80% at this point, and we were on the other side. Like, we'd
Right.
seen the full. I was out there at like 4:15 in the morning, some shit like that, and I'm looking at it, but it was like 80%. It was the coolest fucking thing I'd ever seen. You know, it's one of those things that it has happened in our lifetimes before, but I didn't appreciate it then.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it now, and the coolest thing about these types of eclipses is you can still see the whole moon, right? But it's just that small sliver that's super lit up. The rest of it is fucking like super dark, but you can still see the outline of it. You can still
Right.
see the moon, and you're just looking up at it, and you're
Like,
just
you
like,
know it's there.
Yeah.
And you know it's covered. And
it's
that's
like-
what makes it so
it's
amazing.
like, that's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I one of the most impactful things in my life was I was out. I don't know how old I was, but I had the telescope out. Like, I had this old. There used to be a place down the road called Edmund Scientific, and it's still there. It's over in Lawnside, and it's down the road from here. And they made optical glass, right? They still make optical glass, but at the time they had like a scientific store where you go in there and you buy all kinds of cool shit. They sold telescopes, binoculars, like rocks, they had all kinds of cool shit. It was a great store. I was so I was so sad when they fucking closed it, because it was one of those places where you could just go in there and just be nerding out on just fucking being able to be in a sciencey store.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like in the mall. It wasn't crazy expensive. It was just like a cool place. So I had had my telescope out, and I had it set up so that I was tracking a full moon. And I had it through the view piece, and it's tough. It's a refracting telescope, and you're getting the sight through you're sighting in through this little thing, right?
Yeah.
And you're getting the mirror lined up, and it's tough, right? Get everything lined up just right, and we're like, wow, that's fucking amazing, right? And I'm looking through it, I'm not touching it at all, and I'm watching the moon move, and I'm like, what is happening right now? And I'm just watching the moon just slowly move, and I'm like, this isn't like it's when you have that moment, like, that things are actually happening. Like, this isn't static. It's that epiphany moment. Like, this is not. Yeah, I look up and I can look up 10 minutes later and something's different. I'm watching it change.
Yeah.
Like watching it change as it's happening. It was just like that for me was like one of the just that pivotal moment for like, I want all of the input. Like, how can
Johnny Five needs input.
Yes. Like, how can Johnny Five fucking, I want bigger and more. And, it began a lifelong obsession with how do I get a lot of this stuff. And, I ebb and flow with it, right? I was young with that. And then probably my peak, honestly, for astronomy for me was like when I was in Boy Scouts, because
Well,
That's several years of astronomy.
before you go too deep into that, do you really want to blow your wad now, or do we want to save this for December 20th when we talk about Hubble and James Webb?
That's a whole lot, dude. I could do astronomy I could do a week-long fucking astronomy thing.
All right, because on our December 20th episode, we're going to talk about Hubble and James Webb, and
I thought you were like, do I actually want to complete talking about Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Well, we should. Why don't we put a bow on Ferris Bueller?
All
Because and let's close this with you, because I know you. This is a very important movie to you. You heard my opinion. I feel like this is a movie about Cameron.
Yep.
But what about you? Like, in a nutshell, what is this movie to Dave Martin?
Well, I think I mentioned it. It's one of those. This is a foundational movie. Like, you know, what is in the bio of Dave. You know, I think this had a lot of impact in what developed my character, kind of from high school going forward. You know, from when seeing it. What I would have liked my high school to kind of play out to, what my senior year kind of played into, and then what my character, you know, I've talked about my shore persona versus what my persona was, like, you know,
like
inland.
Summer Dave versus the rest of the year Dave.
And, you know, my rest of the year Dave was a lot more like Cameron, and my summer Dave was a lot closer to Ferris Bueller. So,
Okay.
But it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie to think of what you could fucking pull off if you just said, fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want today.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, what are you gonna do about it? You know?
Yeah, like, all right, Rooney.
Yeah.
All right, fucking Edward Rooney.
Yeah.
You fucking sack of shit. Even more of a sack of shit now. God,
Yeah.
I just hated that motherfucker. Hated it. And that whole sequence I absolutely fucking loved when Cameron has him on the phone. And like the whole,
Oh yeah, the Cameron voices were great.
You, sir, are an asshole.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So
And then
good.
and then he hands the phone off to the secretary, and she's like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, calm down, calm down." And she's like, this whole fucking sequence.
Oh, real quick too. Can we just talk about really quick fucking Sloane winking at Ferris's dad in the fucking cab, where Ferris's dad is like, "Ooh, hello."
Hey,
Yeah, and she's like,
you would think he would recognize her, right?
right, like this is your
Ferris's
son's
girlfriend.
longtime girlfriend. This is the girl that your son wants to marry.
Right. You would
But
think.
well, but she's got Ray-Bans on, so
Oh yeah,
you know.
obviously hiding behind Ray-Bans.
So, but yeah, I mean, for people in our generation, like, this was such an important movie. Even if you just looked at it from the point of view, like you said, of the kid who's having fun for one day. Like, let's ditch school for a day. Let's just go have fun. You know, don't even do the deeper meaning with the parents and those types of things. It's still just a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
Pivotal for our generation. Goes right there with Breakfast Club and all those other movies that were key to our fucking the people that were born around the same time that we were. Mm-hmm. Great movie, a lot of fun. And for some reason, if you're listening or watching this and you haven't seen this movie, well, first of all, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, you should really see it.
Yeah, and go watch it again.
You were probably making a concerted effort to not watch it, and you really should.
Yeah, and go watch it. And do it, because it's great. That being said, next week, we're getting back to music. We're getting back to something that you and I have talked about doing for quite a while. The Beach Boys' Pet Sounds album.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first individual album that we've talked about. We've talked about like years of music, but we've never focused on a single band and a single album before. But we're going to talk about the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds album, which turned 55 years old this year.
Which is fucking unbelievable to think about.
And Kristen and I were talking. She's like, would I know this album if I listened to it? I'm like, you'd know some of the songs. Obviously, wouldn't it be nice? Everybody should fucking know. Yeah. But there's so many songs of this album that are just incredible, and we'll get into it as we go into the album next week. But I implore everybody. I'm sure you can probably listen to this entire album in full on YouTube for free. Just just look up fucking the Beach Boys Pet Sounds. And as part of your research, I would definitely recommend listen to the harmonies, listen to the vocals in these fucking songs. Like, not just Wouldn't It Be Nice, but listen to all of the different layers of vocal tracks in all of these songs, and listen to the depth. And Brian Williams was a fucking genius. It might have been the fucking shrooms and all the drugs, I don't know, but
Dude, that's every fucking album of that generation. I mean, let's not get it twisted here.
But yeah, like, really listen deep to all of the vocals, all of the music and the different sounds going on as you're listening to this and you're researching this. Because, again, I'm telling you, if you're going to listen to our episode next week, listen to Pet Sounds.
You got to listen to the whole album, too.
Yes.
Because it's not just about, like, you know, the songs that the hits that I would say
Right.
heard on the radio, but none of us have.
Well, yeah. Again, Wouldn't It Be Nice is probably the most mainstream song that you all probably know. But again, put on a set of headphones. Listen to every single song. Listen to the layers going on in each of these songs. And we'll get to it next week, but just do it, please, for your own sake. There's a reason why we're breaking down this one single album in a whole episode. After that, 2 weeks from now, we're going to talk about Star Wars Visions.
Fuck!
We're going to watch the second half of Star Wars Visions.
damn it.
Dave's having problems. We're doing it live, folks.
Fuck you fucking fuck.
Do you have anything else to say about Red 5 and the Parsec Awards, Dave?
Yeah, stand by one. God damn it.
I don't know what's going on.
You know, Black Friday is... Black Friday's bullshit.
Well, what is Black Friday anymore?
It's not fucking Friday, I can tell you that.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like... Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to do. And for that half a fucking second that it took me to put my fucking credit card information into the fucking site...
It was sold
Gone.
out? Yeah.
Gone. Sold out. Fuck you. Fuck you, Walmart, and fuck!
How much was it?
$2.99.
Okay. It's pretty standard, but...
But it's all availability. It's all
Right.
based on availability. There's
Yeah.
nothing fucking...
Anyway,
Stand by.
so 2 weeks from now, we're doing the second half of Star Wars Visions for all of our Star Wars people.
Let me bring up my
And-
notes that Kelly
and
sent.
then,
And then I'll...
yeah, to finish this off, we're going to talk about Red 5. And again, Parsec Awards this weekend, Saturday, the 27th. Tune in. Go to YouTube. Google the Red 5 Network. Subscribe to the Red 5 YouTube channel. And then watch the Parsec Awards. Give it a like. Give it some comments. Say, hey, the Sidebar Cantina sent us to these Parsec Awards. You know, let them know that we're the ones who sent you.
Or say Lunar Girl sent us.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
Apparently she's got a lot of clout in the
Yeah.
Red 5 world.
Obviously.
So,
I mean, well, fuck a ton more than we do.
yeah.
All right. So let me... Are we ready for the reads?
Yes, do it.
Let's do the reads.
Yeah, while you do that, I'm going to...
All right. So let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about how fucking much bullshit. Anyway, I'll mention the Parsec Awards again. This Saturday, November 27th, tune in live, Red 5 Network on YouTube. Winners you voted for in your favorite sci-fi and fantasy categories. All of your favorite Red 5 podcasters will be in the chat and presenting the awards, including us. Shenanigans are 100% guaranteed. Yeah, I mean, obviously, YouTube chat is where it's at. Chat is where it's at. Yeah, it's going to be great. Lunar has been sharing. Yeah. Lunar Girl has been sharing daily live stream schedules of all the socials on the nightly Red 5 live chats to hang in. There are 33 amazing podcasts, including ours and the Red 5 Network, and literally something for every personality. For the complete list, visit bio.link/red5. That's bio.link/RED, the number 5. Coming up tonight, WSTR Media has an Imperial inspection of Finn at 2200. Salty Nerds, a case of the Mondays, talks to AA Ron, the Nerd Soup monkey.
You done messed
And
up, AA Ron.
And an early an hour early at 2200, and the Sarlacc Digest goes Beyond the Pit with Ghostbusters Afterlife at 2300. And I do believe that the recent Orange and Fett show also talked about Ghostbusters Afterlife, as well as some Christmas music. But we'll talk more about Orange and Fett show here in a moment. More Red 5. We would like to welcome Nicole, a.k.a. Peace, Love, Star Wars, to the Red 5 Network family. Rogue One Radio announced that Nicole is officially their new co-host during the podcast's second-year birthday bash this past Wednesday. You can catch Nicole along with co-host Steve and DJ Jazzy DJ, on Tuesdays at Rogue One Radio on YouTube and on your favorite podcasting app. A quick thank you to the guys at Sarlacc Digest for having Luna Girl on last week's show, and to everyone who joined her in the pit. She had the best time talking some Boba Fett and Kenobi. Check it out on YouTube.
Everybody loves Luna Girl.
Everybody does love Luna Girl. For our Cantina family, most of which are also on the Red 5 Network, Tuesday afternoon at 1400 Eastern Standard Time, the Use and Abuse podcast will be live on YouTube with their weekend racing recap. Hosts Scott and Kim will be back again at 1900 p.m. to review 1981 drama Taps. Hop in their live chat or stream later in the week on your favorite podcasting app. A Booth in the Back returns Wednesday to recap Week 11 for Fantasy Football League, which hopefully will feature Bronco Fett beating one Jason Roskam.
Not going to happen.
Whose kicker is going to snap it on the fucking opening kickoff. Yeah, Don Della
Well,
Snooch.
at least a man is finally going to beat me.
Don Della Snooch and Brady. I mean, you say it like, yes, they are females by definition that have beaten you.
Mm-hmm. They shouldn't even be playing fantasy football, quite frankly.
Don Della Snooch and Brady Big Lovin' are on holiday break, but Luna Girl will be in the booth with special guest Big Swede. Show goes live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 1800 Eastern Standard Time, exclusively on our Sidebar, the Sidebar Cantina Facebook page. So join a private Facebook group, the Sidebar Cantina.
I won't be posting there, though, for the next 22 days.
But he will be able to see, so trash him vigorously, because
I won't be able to respond.
That's
so,
right.
yeah, you can say whatever you want.
It's the fucking best. The Escape Pod will be on holiday break this week. They will return on December 1st with a special guest Dragon Buddy to review the new movie Ghostbusters Afterlife. Until then, catch up on past shows at the ATSW Escape Pod on YouTube or your favorite streaming app. Sweet Studios reports he is wrapping up some new material for the quarantine sessions. Is it still really the quarantine sessions? Sweet. We still, I mean,
I'm still teleworking one-ish days a week, so.
Yeah.
And apparently they're still pushing vaccines, and
yeah.
COVID's still killing people, which, by the way, sidebar, my cousin's husband died of COVID this week. I never met the guy. This cousin of mine, we weren't really that close, but she's my mother's sister's daughter.
Mm-hmm. Still,
and apparently the guy was vaccinated. He was 35 fucking years old, and still caught COVID and died. So
unfucking believable.
It ain't over.
Yeah.
So I'll just say that
it's still a real thing.
Yeah.
So be careful out there. Sweet Studios reports he's wrapping up some new material for the quarantine sessions. Your clue is Wonderland Walnuts and is about ready for harvest. That's clever. Good job. Good job, Luna Girl. Subscribe to Sweet Studios on YouTube. Give him a follow on Instagram and join his new Discord server for his latest nutty updates. You see what you did there?
Mm-hmm.
The Orange and Fett Show released episode 5 last week about the 1998 comedy Dirty Work, starring Norm Macdonald. Subscribe to them on Spotify and check it out. Yeah, I know. It said when I tried to buy it, it said not in stock. For us, are you listening?
This is a window into the life of Dave Martin as he struggles to buy something on Black Friday, which is not even Black Friday. It's Black Monday, Well, what it was Brown Wednesday, and then something Tuesday, and now it's something Monday. Because fuck it, we don't care anymore. Like Xbox and PlayStation, they started their Black Friday, I say in quote, sales last Friday.
Or you could buy this Walmart Plus bullshit, and then you could fucking get shit. You know what? Fuck you. Anyway,
Don't you have relatives that work at Walmart?
it doesn't matter. So for us, the Sidebar Cantina, you can find us at Twitter, Sidebar Cantina, at Sidebar Cantina. No the.
Yes.
Because Twitter. Twitch.
Because fuck Twitter.
On Twitch is the Sidebar Cantina. Look for us streaming, hopefully more frequently.
We did stream on the Battlefront 1.
We did.
Battlefront 2015.
Yes, the superior.
The best Battlefront game.
I would agree.
Period.
It's
End
beautiful.
of list.
It's beautiful.
It
It
is.
really is.
Yeah.
It's such a thing to behold.
And it's fun, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's so much more fun than Battlefront 2.
Oh God, yeah. God, not even close. Current version Battlefront 2. The original Battlefront 2 was good. Was really good. But Battlefront 2015 version, it's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Facebook, you can find us at the Sidebar Cantina. It's our private Facebook group. You need to find us, then answer some questions. You can get in there.
You can post there. I can't, but you can.
Yeah. Instagram is at the Sidebar Cantina. That's where Luna Girl posts all of our good shit. You can participate in this or that and all that good shit. And on Discord, look for our server, the Sidebar Cantina, where Jason can post, and you can harass him even more about his fantasy football losses. For merch, TeePublic, for some reason our store doesn't come up in the search, but click the link tree in any of our social media bios.
Yes.
And
including this show, the show description of this show.
yeah,
You can
look down,
see it.
Right, I think it's probably down there, even though I can't see myself because my screen's still locked up, but it's probably down there.
Probably down there.
Right down there. But click the link tree in our social media. You can find t-shirts, hoodies, wide variety of designs, sizes, colors, and the entire family.
My arms are so small.
Penis, so small.
God damn it, man.
There are also Sidebar Cantina face masks, tote bags, phone cases, exclusive stickers, and pins. Just about anything for you can imagine, just in time for Christmas. Feel free to tag us with your merch so Luna Girl can share it on the socials.
Which, technically, I mean, the next time we record, we will officially be in the Christmas season.
Officially.
Thanksgiving will have come and gone.
Right.
And we will be in the Thanksgiving throw,
Right.
or the Christmas throws. I've been
Yes.
drinking. Sorry.
You have been. Speaking of reviews, did you mention reviews?
The 5-star reviews that I read at the top of the show.
Speaking of reviews,
2
Luna
hours
Girl
and
is,
27 minutes ago.
Luna Girl is dying to throw stickers at you. Leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting app. Screenshot it and DM us your pick on Instagram or Twitter. She will have your Sidebar Cantina stickers in the mail the next day, and we will read your review word for word on our next episode. It's that easy. You can write one sentence or an entire page, whatever your heart desires.
Yeah,
And that, as they say, is that.
Yeah, Bronco Fett mentions, and I don't want to give him much credit right now, but he does mention that Muppet Family Christmas is the best Christmas show ever. I agree. We watch that every single year in my household. It's fucking awesome, and you should go watch it. And you will do it. So, like I said, Pet Sounds next week. Please, I implore everybody, just go onto YouTube. Like, music is fucking free on YouTube. Just go there, search for the Beach Boys Pet Sounds, listen to it all the way through, put on headphones, listen to it, like really, really listen to it. We're going to talk about it next week, and that's about it.
Yep.
So thanks everyone for listening and watching on the YouTube. We've still got a lot of people on the YouTube, and we do appreciate that. We appreciate you. And I guess go Tampa Bay tonight. I hope you score 15 touchdowns. And until next time, Dave and everybody else, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Okay, now what do I click?
All right.
God damn it. I got this fucking thing.
Yep. Episode 222. Don't come in yet, Kristen. Raw. Wait, what? Save. Is unavailable. Make sure the device... Oh, no. Oh, no. What's going on? Oh! Whoops. I hit a slash. It thinks I'm trying to save it to a directory. Oh. I have no idea how to read. All right. What do we got going on in the chat? Thank you, Chantel, for the great episode shout-out. Kristen, best Christmas special. Oh, yeah. Talking about the Muppet Family Christmas. It was very good. Backyard TARDIS. Chantel is definitely have to check it out. Luna Girl gave me a middle finger. Well, you know what? I'm fine with that. You can give me the middle finger all you want.
Hey, look, I tried. Like, it was in my cart. I got all the way through.
And while he's talking,
watch me.
tell me again what your record is, Kelly. What's your record? Is it better than me?
Put the credit card information
I don't think it is.
And when I hit complete order,
In
it said,
fact, I'm
no,
just gonna pull up the app.
No longer in your cart.
Who
Yeah, it says it's no longer in stock.
So let's just take a
Went
look.
through the entire thing.
Take a look.
As soon as this was at 7:03.
Legacy of
So it
Bane
took
is 8 and
3
2.
minutes to
Blue Milk and Froggies is 7 and 3.
Put all the information in.
But I mean, I'm sure you won this week, right, Kelly?
It sold out that quickly.
Yeah, I'm sure you won. So you're. Oh, you didn't win.
It'll still let you select it.
Oh no, you lost to the Corellia Steelers, the number 5 team. What happened? I don't understand.
I really did. And Jason will tell you. Well, it's on YouTube. You can see it on YouTube. Me fucking trying.
Yeah. Oh man, that was
All right, let me finish up the show.
That was a good performance by Z Moss. That 0.5. Looks like he did really well. Oh, P Mahomes, 5.5 points. That's really good for, the guy who's the second coming of fucking Jesus.
You know what this sounds like you're doing right now? It sounds like you're making some sort of like excuse.
I'm not making any excuses. Like, the Rams were on a bye this week. That's fine. It's whatever. So, and let me just tell you about the fucking defenses. Oh my God, these defenses. I've got the Arizona and the Buffalo defense. No matter which one I start, they're going to do shitty that week, and the other one is going to do phenomenal. If I had swapped my defenses this week and last week, I'd have destroyed my fucking opponents. It never would have been close.
I know, man. I feel you.
God, defenses are so fucking weird.
Try this again. Listen. I am considering myself extremely fortunate that the Corellia Steelers. No, who am I? Not who am I playing this week?
It's irrelevant.
It's Leo Chavez.
Okay,
I'm playing this week. Who's a new player.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some unfortunate games this year. So I genuinely feel bad, but
I wouldn't. No mercy.
It's true. I mean, it's sometimes you have business decisions to make in fucking fantasy football, and I get that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to win again, and much like the Eagles, I am somehow going to sneak into the potential fucking playoff.
Can we talk about our teams, the Eagles and the 49ers, like all of a sudden looking like they're legit teams over these last couple of weeks?
All I want, what I want to have happen. I want the fucking Eagles to stop winning, because no, and look, and this isn't about Nick and I were talking about this, right? This isn't about like wanting a better draft pick or anything else, because this draft is garbage. Like there's
this coming year,
yeah, this year's draft is hot garbage. Like there's not like some stud out there that I want at quarterback.
Sure.
But, like, the quarterback that I have right now he's not good. He's not good. I watched him stand there and hold the ball like he running into the back of a fucking offensive lineman. Ooh, it might have worked. Ooh, I might have got it. It might have worked that time.
Oh.
I hope I bought the right thing.
All right, what do you got there? Can I see it?
Hang on. Let's go to purchase history. Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good.
pulled it off.
All right.
Sweet.
Good job.
All right. I'm a hero. Anyway.
Or at least not a complete fucking idiot.
You saw it. You saw me fucking. I was on it like I was on
Did
it.
I see it though, or did I just hear you talking about it?
Listen, motherfucker. Anyway, let me text.
I thought he was gonna pull a knife on me. I thought he was reaching into his pocket to grab a knife.
Anyway, Vickers, that looks good. I want to bring it up on here so I can see it better. But, yeah, I just Hurts is not good. He's not a good quarterback. Like,
Yeah.
you had an opportunity. Like, okay, it's a planned run. You ran into the back of your offensive line because you can't see over them, and then you bounce off of them, and then instead of like, oh fuck, this is going to go for negative yards. I'm a quarterback. I could throw the ball away and not lose yards.
Wow. What
You
a
could do
concept.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I could tuck it and try again and lose 4 yards. Because that's what a runner does. Like,
Yeah.
that's his first instinct is to run. He's a college quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's not what this team needs. And the problem is they're winning. And everyone wants to make these comparisons to people like Donovan McNabb. And, you know, they want to make these comparisons. And
yeah.
it's a completely different animal. And even like I had this conversation today, and apologies to our nerd audience. Like we save all our fucking our sports talk for the after show
Yeah.
on purpose. But yeah, like our boss, like Nick and our boss, our squadron commander, he's an Alabama guy, and he was walking by. I was like, yeah, and I know this guy likes Jalen Hurts. He's like, yeah, roll Tide. I'm like, yeah, but Nick Saban fucking threw him out. Like he got rid of him.
Yeah.
So obviously your coach at Alabama didn't think that he was worth keeping for to the end, and started another guy for the fucking championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then he goes, Hurts goes to another team and does decent there, but still, this is like Nick Saban, who's, as much as I hate to say it, I mean he produces good fucking quality people. Like look at Mac Jones right now. Like nobody can argue with what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right? You can't argue with that level of success. Yet here we are with fucking Jalen Hurts. So we're stuck with them, and if they manage to fucking continue to win, and we have kind of an easy schedule because it's an NFC East schedule, and if the Cowboys continue to fucking try and bend over and stick their own heads up their own ass, which they're really good at,
Yeah.
and just keep doing it. I love it. Just keep fucking doing it. I'm all about it. Anyway. God, I can't believe it actually worked that time. Fucking 26 minutes later, they suddenly have some in stock.
Yeah. Who is that for?
The boy.
Okay.
Hey. I got it. Are you listening? I don't know. I tried again.
He didn't fuck it up this time.
Yeah. Are you watching the show? Is that how you found out? Oh, okay.
Hey!
No, I just like randomly tried again before I was going to log out. All right.
You'll have to
Love you
pull up a
too.
chair or something.
Mission accomplished.
Indeed. Bush style.
Head for the mountains of Bush. Beer. Yeah, I still can't believe this screen's still locked up.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, it looks good on mine, so.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the YouTube feed and it's fine.
Yeah.
So it's not like the processor locked up. It just Said fuck it.
Yeah. What you drinking?
I'm drinking an Iron Hill lager. What is it?
It is the sour, the blueberry sour beer.
Oh yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
Is-
The guy that I took to Iron Hill this last week,
Uh-huh.
he's not a beer guy. He hates beer, but he had some of this, and he's like, "Ooh, I like that."
It was his favorite. And I'm not a beer person either, and I love this.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know
a
what it is.
blueberry sour, like I don't even like a light lager maybe,
Okay.
but it's like literally like blueberry and sour.
And it's good. You like it too, right?
Yeah, I didn't hate it. So
There's Victory. Is it Victory? Let me think about it for a second. Sour Monkey. I think that's Victory.
sour monkey.
Yeah. Anyway, they're really good too, and they're 9%. They're like 9.3%.
Is it
Oh
sour?
Jesus Christ,
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's sour.
that's fucking crazy. 9%.
Yeah.
Like
Sour
you'd have
monkey.
one drink and you'd be puking in the fucking bathroom.
Hopefully.
Whatever.
Yeah, you'll like them.
Yeah.
They're really good. Who makes sour monkeys? God damn it.
Everybody's saying hi to you.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, Victory. Sour Monkey. Get the bottles. Don't do cans. Get the bottles.
Does anybody do
I don't
cans
think
really?
they let me get cans.
No, that's like blasphemy.
Yeah, I mean, you can do Miller Lite in cans. Like, it's...
You might as well do fucking Old Milwaukee at that point. Little
Beast?
PBR, you
gonna
know?
do the Beast?
Yeah.
Old Milwaukee's Best?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my God. Dude.
You can get drunk for $169 for a 16 pack.
My friend Jeff, he, the same Jeff, the Ferris Bueller guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was at his fraternity for a party one time. He went to school down in Maryland, and they were gathering beer money or whatever. You know, all these college.
Would you have to chip in a quarter?
Oh yeah, well they were gathering beer money. I had no idea what they're getting because I didn't really drink beer at the time. It's like okay, whatever. You know, it went in Rome. And we're like, okay, here's like the pile of fucking pocket change. You know, I was driving in this 1989 Ford Taurus that on the drive down there, the power steering went.
Nice.
So I
you're
had
like,
to drive. I'm driving to Maryland from fucking, South Jersey in manual steering.
Oh, yeah.
So it was great.
Yeah.
It's a really good workout, by the way.
I've
Good
had to
upper
do
body
that,
workout.
and it's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a front wheel drive car too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fucking great. So anyway, I get down there, and my sole purpose in life was to get fucking drunk at that point. And they come back and they fucking wheel up this hand truck full of all Milwaukee's Best. They left with like $20. Like it's not like they had this like pile of money they left with. They literally had like $20 and a handful of money, and came back with a fucking hand truck full of all Milwaukee's Best. I'm like, what is this? And they're like, it's awful. Here,
Yeah.
here. Once you get through the first 4, you won't even taste it.
Yeah.
It's fine. And they weren't lying.
Yeah.
Of course, the next day you're like catatonic because it's like, oh God, like you're literally drinking poison water at that point. It's like it's just strong enough to just affect your liver, so you feel like absolute hot garbage the next day. But yeah, Old Milwaukee's Best. That was my first introduction to the Beast.
Dude, like all of this talk reminds me of that like first like 2 years that I was living in the dorms in the Air Force, because you never did time in active duty. So
No,
you were always guard.
Yeah, my time in the dorms was exclusive to tech school.
Yes.
You know, that 9 months I spent in Keesler.
Right. So when I got to McGuire, I was still living in the dorms for like 2 years. And it was fucking crazy, man. Parties every fucking weekend. And then every once in a while, like once every 6 months, we'd have the big fucking party. That was like the entire hallway. Everybody brought their own fucking beer. 90% of the people there were fucking underage.
Right.
You know, it was.
But this was the mid-90s. It wasn't as big a deal.
Yeah. This was like literally 97 type thing. And I can remember having one of these like fucking hallway parties where like throwing back Old Milwaukee, MGD, you know, all the cheapo beers. And like guys would walk up to me. This dude would like fucking stagger up to me. He's got this bottle of tequila. He's like, drink this. He like shoves it in my face. I'd never seen this guy before in my life, right? And I'm just like, fuck it, thanks, man. And then I'd stumble to the next fucking guy, and
bonkers.
again, you talk about like Ferris Bueller and like just like the carefree days of your youth. Like that was it for me. Those like 2 years where I lived in the dorms in fucking
Honestly,
on McGuire in New Jersey.
it's really a shame if you think about what the kids have to go through now, like the dorm kids in active duty these days.
Oh, I have no
because
idea.
underage drinking is so frowned upon now.
Oh, they've cracked
Like,
down on that
you
so
can't-
much.
You can't
Yeah.
get away with it at all.
Yeah.
Like, and if
Oh,
you
it's
get caught with it,
everywhere
your
there.
fucking career's
Yeah.
Yeah.
over.
That's crazy. It's we used to have date nights. We'd like watch a movie on his bed, and we'd have to turn the volume up because his roommate was puking in a trash can like 8 feet away
Yeah.
for half the movie. It was
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old days where shit. Even when I was being in the guard, right, for UTA weekends, we'd come up and I stayed in the fucking the dorms in 1929 or what the building that my squadron moved into when those were still dorms, and it's kind of very similar scenarios where it's like, okay, yeah, we're underage, but we're airmen, we're in one area, people just bring beer, drop it off, and fucking let us go because we're confined in one area. We're on the base. We're not going to go get in trouble. If you were even if you were of age and you went to the club, then all right, fine. You fucking stagger back to where you're supposed to be. Now they're all gunning for you. Like even if whether you're of age or not of age, like they want to they're not out there trying to see you get home safe. It's like, okay, whose career can we end today? And they're
Yeah, it's
out there
fucked up.
trying to gun it. And so it creates this like really, really caustic environment. And I feel bad because shit, even when I was in Keesler, when I was down there, we were down there for so long.
6 months,
When
7
you're
months.
after phase 3, right? When basically phase 4 through phase phase 5, right, was the last one. Yeah, phase 5.
There was only 4 phases for the time I was there.
Yeah, I was in phase 5. We were basically a permanent party at that point. Our room didn't get inspected, like none of it. I didn't even wear my rope anymore. It was like fucking done. And it was, you came and go as you went. You couldn't really drink in the dorms though. Like, but I could go and do whatever the fuck I wanted. And it was pretty fucking phenomenal.
I'm looking at Stonebleeds' comment.
Which one?
He's like, we had to turn the volume up because our downstairs neighbor had some like violent diarrhea.
Sit.
Not exactly the same as like your roommate puking in the trash can, but whatever.
No. That's, dude. That reminds me. We were staying. Did you do in the old jet? Did you do any of those Crete runs
I went to Crete at least once.
for the Olympics? We were doing. Those,
I didn't do it for the Olympics, but I've been to Crete before.
So we were staying at this hotel. It was downtown in Crete, and all the bathrooms, or almost all the bathrooms, shared like one vent. The toilet vent and the shower vent were like all attached, kind of the same thing. So there was like this amazing echo. So whatever somebody was doing in the first floor bathroom and subsequent floors, you could hear everything that was going on. So if they were puking, fucking, pissing, shitting, whatever it is they were doing, you could hear like they were in the room next to you, like literally sitting there, like, wow, you might as well be taking a shit here right next to me. And listening to people puke, like I'm a sympathy puker.
Yeah.
Like I just, and I will like, I haven't thrown up. It's been a long time. It's been a really long time
Is
since
it
I've
a
thrown up.
phobia thing for you?
I just don't like to do it.
There are people who will go 20 years, like they just will not.
All those times, all the drinking that I've done, like there's only been a couple times where I've drunk to the point where I just could not control it. And I've wanted to, like my body's been like, hey man, you would feel a lot better if you just let this go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope, fuck you. I'm not doing it. Just because I don't want to do it. I hate it. I just hate it. So fucking awful. And knowing full well that I would feel better afterwards, I still won't do it. Like, even air sickness or anything else, like, there's only a couple of times where in the jet where I felt like I've been moved around to the point where I've like, oh God, like I felt nauseous.
Of course, that reminds me of the time where within the span of like 2 or 3 months, I was given evals on the old jet, and I had 2 people both puke, like sitting in their fucking radio operator seat, like puke like right there on themselves. I had that happen twice to me over the course of a few months. That was good.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good
That
times.
that never happened to me. I never had anybody puke on me in the seat.
Yeah.
Not during an eval anyway.
Yeah, happened to me twice. This was like within the last few years of me being in the squadron too.
Really?
Yeah.
Here's your parting shots.
Mm-hmm. One of the people is still there. The other one has since retired. So
That's really funny.
mm-hmm. It's good times.
All right. Well,
So anyway,
it's only 6:30.
7:30.
What?
You guys said the word pedophile, I think, a record number of times today.
I mean, Jeffrey Jones. Who else did we talk about?
Oh, the Subway guy.
Oh yeah, Jared. Like where? Yeah, where did that come from? The Jared from Subway.
You were talking about pedophiles.
Yeah. Well, I
No,
mean,
it was-
it wasn't a main topic.
It might have been.
Yeah.
Why did we start talking about him?
I'm pretty sure you brought him up. His name is Jared. Eating the Subway.
No. Oh, you know why it says 6:30? Because that's when my fucking computer locked up. That's when the screen locked up. It was 1826.
Nice.
So it's correct over here. So my computer is on the correct time. I'm like, there's no fucking way I would allow my computer to display the wrong time. Like I just nope. My OCD would not allow that.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like, you know, people say, hey, your car clock is off by an hour. I'm like, give it a few months. It'll correct itself.
No fucking way. No, absolutely not. Can't. No. I have issues where if my clocks don't all consistently are not all in military time, I have an issue with that. Like, I need to be able to look at it across the board and go, like, these all are telling me the same thing. That's the way it has to be.
Okay.
Otherwise, I will twist myself into the fucking ceiling. Like, and it starts out like, this is the problem with something like that. Like, it doesn't start out as like it's not immediately. You don't go from like 0 to like It's like it starts slow. It's like that. Well, that kind of bothers me, but I'm okay. I can let that go.
This is fine.
Yeah, exactly. And then something else will be like just out of place. Like, that's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna let that bother me. You know, that little thing. I'm not gonna let that bother me. But there was that too. And then you move on to something else. I'm like, well, fuck me. Everything's fucked. Like, this is fucked. That's fucked. That's fucked. Everything's fucked. You know, it just just throws everything off. Then you gotta Then you got to hit the reset button and try again the next day, because after that, it is a problem for people.
It is.
I wouldn't know.
You gotta hold it together, and you think you're doing okay, and then you toss a shirt in the hamper, and the edge of the sleeve just like sits on the edge of the hamper.
Who does that?
Yeah, people just leave it there.
Who does that?
I mean, can anyone just see that?
Can it
and
just
walk
be
away?
all the way in the fucking hamper?
Help me.
You probably leave the shit. You know what I can't stand? I can't stand when there's fucking. Here's the hamper. Here's something on the floor right here.
Yeah.
Here's the hamper. There it is on the floor. And I live with adults. I don't have children anymore. Like, these are adults that leave this on the floor right here, next to the hamper, right here. There. That shit drives me insane. Like, how fucking lazy do you have to be? Like, you would have to take your shirt off and like deliberately, like, it would have been easier, like, less effort to.
No, maybe you just were like Kobe And you just missed.
So
It's
then
not-
you go over and you fix it.
Well, why?
You know what he does? He'll take off his socks and put them like 6 feet, from the hamper. Then I'll do all the laundry in the house. Everything's clean, and he'll be like, "Oh, 2 socks," and drops them into the empty hamper.
I've never done this before in my life.
Why?
I don't know where this is coming
I
from.
know damn well that you've done that. It's Bronco Fett, what do you mean fuck military time?
Isn't he an army guy? Whatever.
Yeah, it's the literally hanging out of the lip of the fucking hamper.
What's wrong with that?
I
It's in the hamper, pretty much.
in the hamper is
It's enough.
in the hamper.
It's enough to where it's not on the floor. Isn't that good enough?
No.
But that might be the thing. Like, so if I look at that and go like, that's okay. I'm just going to walk by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's like 3 or 4 other things that I'm going to encounter way down the day, and then I'm going to lose it. And it started with the fucking hamper.
We have to do the Michael Douglas movie, Falling Down. You remember that movie?
Oh, yes. I am familiar. You haven't seen Falling
I've
Down?
never seen 90% of the movies you guys talk about.
You should see Falling Down. It's still relevant to this day, for sure.
Like, I think about you every time I think about
Oh
that
my
movie.
fucking God. In traffic? Oh. Dude, getting out of the fucking car with a 2x4 would be the most gratifying thing, I think,
You forgot your briefcase!
ever. Just, it would be so fucking glorious. In the fucking the restaurant. Oh, that'd be awesome. It's a good movie. I haven't seen that movie in a minute. We should rewatch that. We should definitely.
We
do it.
stopped serving breakfast at 10 o'clock. It's like 10:02.
I can see it. It's right there. Oh man, it's a good movie. You'd like it. All right, we should go.
All right.
I want to go home. I want to eat. I want to go to bed early. It's been
Yeah.
a long fucking day.
It's still early, so we got time.
It is still early. I'm stoked.
Pet Sounds. Listen to it. Soak it in. Absorb it.
Oh, I'll be listening to it.
yeah.
I'm hoping it's lossless on the.
I haven't even looked
Apple
to see
Music.
if it's on Apple Music.
Oh, you know.
I mean, I have the old mono version of the.
I'll
Of it
bring
on
it-
like MP3 files.
Well, I'm gonna bring in the LP. Like,
Oh,
I'll
really?
have it for
Yeah.
for a visual aid for the show.
Really, Pet Shop Boys? You think that's what I'm fucking searching for?
Same thing, right?
Yeah, that's the same fucking thing. All right, it is on Apple Music. So,
Is it lossless though?
now for you, sir, I want you to rank the songs. Like, at least give me like a top 3 songs, like
Okay.
your favorite songs in order for the album.
Easy day. I can definitely do that.
Yeah. I'm just seeing like the standard album on Apple Music. I'm not seeing any.
Albums P. I may already have this in my library.
No, there's the 50th anniversary deluxe edition. There's the 2001 remaster. All right, so we have a few versions. Climb up the soup jumping.
Such a good song.
My grandfather and me. Round Nassau town we did run. Drinking all night.
Are there still people watching?
Got into a fight.
Yeah.
Well, I feel so broke up. I wanna go home. So join the darkness. I can't do it.
Wow.
I can't do the fucking
Wow.
the high pitched stuff. And that's really where the brilliance is.
Well, you have a week to work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna take more than a week.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
Oh my God, that's me. Show Dave.
Let me go.
Disney.
Ooh. It's adorbs. Adorbs. Oh, yep. High res lossless. Fucking A right.
Is this on
Apple Music.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I pay for the Apple Music
I do too.
subscription. Yeah, see? It says high res lossless.
Where are you seeing that?
It says it like right beneath play. Look below play.
No matter where you're at in
Go below that.
stepping into
Go below.
Oh. Okay, let me see. Is that just the standard version? Yeah, it's the standard version they have on there.
Right.
All right. Fair enough.
But that means it's going to sound fucking good in my car.
I put it on in the AirPods.
Yeah. Well, I have that 13 speaker fucking Sony awesomeness in the car,
Very good.
and then I have my Bose fucking sound. So
Excellent.
it would be.
All right. I think we've dragged this out long enough.
Yes.
So-
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. For the 4 of you still out there, 3 of you, man, we're
Goodbye.
losing them quick.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
All right.
Goodbye.
See you guys.
Cheers.
We love you.
Peace.